Nothing that's not on the supermodel runway will do. Anything less than that's not going to do us any longer. It's amazing how things have changed around here. Hey, Tommy Kraft, the first voice you're hearing today. Why is that? Where's the young whippersnapper today? What has happened to him? Well, he claims he lost his voice due to allergies. Christian didn't even show up for work today. He's even in the building.
Yeah, he rolled in about 10 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. He was here early, bright and early.
Yeah. Did he bring what's wrong with you, boy?
I don't know. Allergies, man.
Allergies.
I have to like really put some gusto behind this voice, and even it still sounds bad, and then it withers away into the wind.
Okay, that's normal. So what's wrong now?
Who knows? It's probably the cigarette smoke that I'm consistently around.
That is exactly where I was. It sounds to me like you spent Thursday at a seedy bar somewhere.
The cursing,
sucking in cigarette smoke.
The cursing at the golf course. If I hold my throat like this, it's not as bad. But the cursing at the golf course combined with the cigarette smoke. Arguing.
If you're watching on the Hit That Line Now app, use both hands around your throat. Maybe that'll help.
Just squeeze.
Just squeeze as hard
as you can,
and hold it there.
Well, it's still going.
That's Clay's recommendation.
And don't let go.
I
don't think.
Even when you turn blue, don't let go.
So this July it'll be 6 years at ESPN Arkansas, and I don't think this has ever happened in the 6. Like I've been hoarse after. Like I remember being hoarse Monday mornings after certain NCAA tournament wins or big time football wins, but I don't think I've ever encountered just allergies to killing my voice, and it's a new experience that I hate, and I've been injecting my body with cough drops and allergy medicine and drinking hottie toddies and coffee with honey, and it hasn't subsided yet.
Well, it's a holiday for the rest of us here. All right, so you can get us donuts, and you can go get omelets. You can run all the errands this morning.
That's fine, as long as I get to expense it.
What other menial task can we assign him today, Big C?
Oh,
all of Christian's duties.
Yeah, you can do the remote, man.
All of it. I don't think the Camping World will want to pay for this, to be honest.
All right. Ty's here, but he is on the injured list. He's on the IL today. We'll let him chime in a little bit more throughout the show. See if we can validate whether this is an actual I wouldn't call it injury. This isn't a work injury. This is just he's just on the injured reserve here for a few days. So. All right, Chuck's going to step in a little bit early this morning. I guess the big news of the day, guys, is Kenny Payne being named the associate head coach. That's where we began our basketball coverage. Presented by the Lindbergh Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. Go to lindberghteam.com and buy Maverick Medical. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMedical.com. So Kenny Payne, that name probably sounds pretty familiar to you. You're even just a casual college basketball fan or just a basketball fan, because here's a guy that's going to be Arkansas's what I call his lead assistant, top assistant. Been the head coach for a couple years at Kentucky. Arkansas played Kentucky. Coach Dale Ellis, that's been on Arkansas's roster, got NBA experience, but probably where you know him more than anything is his time at Kentucky with John Calipari. I think it's 2014 to 2020. So this is a guy with 20-plus years of experience, and it's going to be, for lack of a better phrase, John Calipari's right-hand man on the Hill. So he's been involved in 4 Final Fours, 6 Southeastern Conference tournaments, was part of some championship appearances, 41 drafted players. So our resume's good as an assistant coach. We know that it didn't go well at Louisville, but this is the first big piece. And I think we know some of the other names that are going to be part of the Arkansas staff. While nothing has been formally announced, I think we kind of know some of the guys that were Chet Martin and Chin Coleman and or how do you say this?
Hey, voice boy there, Orlando. How do you say his
I think it's
last
Antigua, isn't it?
Antigua. I
believe
don't want
that's.
to get that wrong.
I believe that Chuck will probably have the accurate. Accurate.
But,
I believe that's correct.
Try to pronounce Big Z's name again.
Oh, this will be
Maybe
fun.
that'll fix the voice. Yeah.
Zvonimir Ivicic.
There we go.
Right.
There we go. You knocked it out.
Might actually be better. Yeah. And then Coach Cal's son, Brad, and then Bruiser Flynn all expected to be on the staff, but we haven't seen really anything officially announced about that. So, Big C, I'll start with you. Kenny Payne, Razorback associate head coach. What are your thoughts?
I like it. He's got pedigree. He's been successful with Cal in the past at Kentucky. I know his head coaching career at Louisville didn't go great. Maybe he's just more of an assistant coach, and he thrives in that role better. I know being a head coach is a lot different than being a assistant head coach, and I'm excited to see what he can do. I know he's got some good relationships with players, and he knows how to bring in good players and help Calipari in that area. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I think I think that Coach Cal can hire us, and I think right now the fan
And we
base
can
would say,
recruit.
Well, he knows what he's doing. Coach Cal knows what he's doing. So I mean, right now, and this is a name with some of that, like I said, minimal head coaching experience. The key to this resume is 2014 to 2020. He was with Coach Cal on that bench at Kentucky. That's the key. Number one thing to highlight off of his resume, and that's why he's in Fayetteville.
4 Final Four, 60 NCAA SEC tournament appearances. They won a national championship, and they went to a national championship, and he had 41 players drafted in that time. So,
yeah.
And if you look at who he brought in, Tommy, I mean, it was impressive. He's got like Bam Adebayo, De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Jamal Murray, Tyler Hero, who are all playing the NBA now. So he's got quite a track record with talented players.
That's why he's there, is the long-term relationship. Kenny Payne, honestly, probably, I mean, you think about the time he stepped in as the head coach at Louisville, COVID, transfer portal, all of those things that occurred. You needed to be a veteran, a seasoned veteran, probably, to be ready to deal with all that. Being a kind of a new head coach in a place like Louisville, that probably wasn't the time for that. Hey, we're brought to you by APAC Arcola. They have immediate openings in Boone, Marion, Baxter County, also in Benton and Washington County. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, concrete finisher, diesel mechanic, or have experience with paving, concrete, and asphalt and those things, they've got jobs right now. Quarry experience. I mean, the list goes on and on. You can see the full list online at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com for all of the job listings. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer. Chuck's going to be along here in a little bit. We'll do our Fence Man Friday picks in the second hour. Scott Tabor's going to be with us in just over an hour. Arkansas's on the road, guys, this weekend at South Carolina. Critical, pivotal series in SEC play. A lot of people worried and up in arms a little bit because of a series loss last week at Bama. We think it's just a blip on the radar, or at least I do. So let's see what happens this weekend. But Big C, big weekend, 2 top 20 teams.
Yes, sir, and I can't wait. I cannot wait for this matchup. It's going to be a lot of fun. Try to right some wrongs from the Bama series. So,
yeah, guys, I just texted you. I can't see the screen, so you may have to give me a time cue.
There we go.
So,
we got about 10 seconds here.
sounds like we have no seconds.
No, we got to go. All right, we'll hit a break and we'll be back after this.
Needs, go to LindbergTeam.com. Lindbergh Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LindbergTeam.com. Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This PGA Tour moment is brought to you by True Grain.
Greg Norman, Seve Ballesteros, and Augusta native Larry Mize began a sudden death playoff at the 1987 Masters. After Ballesteros was eliminated, missing a 5-foot putt for par on number 10, Mize and Norman moved on to 11. Mize sank a 140-foot chip for an improbable birdie. Norman failed to hole his, and Mize captured his first and only major with one of the most miraculous shots in major championship history.
True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
I love a beautiful lawn. I hate doing lawn care. That's why I use True Green. They're the official lawn treatment provider of the PGA Tour. We all know those are some nice greens. So just imagine what they could do to your lawn. All you have to do is water and mow. And to top it off, when you sign up for an annual plan by April 20th, get one application free. Visit TrueGreen.com for the best lawn at the best price, guaranteed. Restrictions apply.
This is the Morning Rush.
Say goodbye!
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on a GMC Sierra Crew Cab at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Choose from 2.7 or 5.3-liter Sierra Crew Cabs this month and get 2.9% for 72. Or get up to $6,500 in factory rebates on select 2024 GMC Sierra trucks. Conquer with confidence in a new GMC from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every Friday is Fajita Friday, featuring their charbroiled steak and chicken. It's tender, full of flavor, and comes with all the fixings. Saturdays are for endless enchiladas with Joe's homemade enchilada sauce and all the beef, chicken, or cheese enchiladas you can eat. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
You just ordered Mexican food and you're thinking we need everything to make margaritas. Well, no worries. Uber Eats and DoorDash is now available at Four Corks Wine and Spirits. It's fast and convenient to get all your beer, wine, and spirits by calling Uber Eats or DoorDash. Four Corks Wine and Spirits has a wide selection of bourbons, whiskey, craft beers, and the coldest imports in town. Stop in the climate-controlled wine cellar for the perfect selection of fine wines, too. Uber Eats and DoorDash now available at Four Corks Wine and Spirits, just past the intersection of Mazard and Zero Street toward Ben Garing Park.
How do I drive more traffic to my website? How do I increase my Google rankings? If these are just a few of the questions you have for your business, then we should talk. In addition to sports radio marketing, ESPN Arkansas can help your business be found online. From website design to geo-targeted campaigns, search engine marketing, social media management, streaming video campaigns, and much more. ESPN Arkansas is your digital marketing partner. Go to ESPNArkansasDigital.com for your free digital marketing audit or email us at sales@hitthatline.com to schedule an appointment.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Woo Pig Suey. And it's fantastic when people call it. Now, if things aren't going well, sometimes they yell Woo Pig Fooey, and that isn't real good. That's bad luck. Calling hogs, they go Suey.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a high drive right field by Souza. This one's a winner potentially. Harrelson from right field underneath it. Caught. Here's Sprague-Lott coming home. The throw. Hogs win it. This one belongs to the Razorbacks. 9-8.
Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McLarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963.
Well, it's a Fastball Friday, and we're glad you woke up early with us to get ready for a big weekend of baseball. Chuck's going to join us here in just a few seconds as we get ready for Arkansas and South Carolina. Ty's here. He says he's I don't know if he's injured. His voice doesn't sound good. That's just
sounds horrible.
We'll get into that in just a minute. We're brought to you by Farm Credit. With over a century of proven performance, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas has been your reliable partner for providing the financial assistance your farm or ranch needs to stay up and running. Visit myaglender.com or visit any of their 25 locations near you for the financial lending support you need from sunrise to sunset. You know, Chuck's here now. Chuck, I know that back in the day, if you went to kind of a seedy bar, you were around a lot of cigarette smoke, a lot of drinking, carousing, just general carousing, your voice would sometimes talk to us again, Ty.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's the last time. It's the last time you're going to open the mic. It sounds horrible.
Well, I was hoping for some advice from a veteran in this industry.
Well, if you were looking for sympathy, you're in the wrong place.
I don't want sympathy. I want a remedy. I want to fix this because I got to do the show on Monday.
Well, it starts with shutting the mic.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. These kids now.
Oh, my God.
Now stop. Shut the microphone. You sound terrible. You don't need to be on the air today. I mean, I love you, but you don't need to be on the air today. You burn it at both ends. You stay out smoking and drinking, chasing women. Things like this happen. I mean, I know it just catches up with you after a while. It just happens.
Ty, since you're unable to go, if you could just go out and vacuum Chuck's car out, go ahead and get all the French fries out from under the seat.
Tommy like an omelet.
Yeah. So you take care of those few things. And then when you get done, come on down to the yacht club and you can mow my yard as well. So, yeah, Chuck, baseball this week. We'll get to Kenny Payne because I want to hear what you think about some of the first reveal, if you will, on Coach Cal's staff. I mean, I don't think we're shocked by some of this stuff as a name we heard, but we'll get into that in a minute. Big weekend. Arkansas goes to take on South Carolina. Big weekend in the SEC. You got 3 ranked top 20 matchups. Kentucky and Tennessee's huge. A&M, Alabama's huge. But, hey, Arkansas, South Carolina's amongst key pivotal series this weekend, and Arkansas's headed down to Columbia for 3 big games with 2 big names in this conference. I know South Carolina's only 20th, but they're still a tough team.
South Carolina's good. They were really good for a while there under Ray Tanner. I mean, they were among the best programs in the country, and he moved to the AD spot, moved up, and they kind of struggled. Sometimes you do when you're replacing a great coach. They struggled for a little while, but they're a lot closer to getting it right now than they've been in a long time, and that's a great ballpark over there. It is probably, and I love ours, but at their ballpark, it kind of sits down in a little basin, and South Carolina is an urban campus. It's right in downtown Columbia. And so you look back up on the hill to the downtown part of Columbia. If you've watched the Pittsburgh Pirates play a game on television, you see the backdrop of the city of Pittsburgh there. And it kind of looks like that in Columbia. It's a great ballpark, great setting. And Arkansas and South Carolina have had some battles over the years. I mean, Dave and Tanner used to go at it like crazy, and Tanner won most of those. He had better players, and he got pretty much everybody. And there's a lot of players in the Carolinas now. There's a lot of baseball players. And South Carolina, it looks like, starting to get their share again.
You were still doing the game. What was it? 2012. They got to the winner of the game got to go on to the championship, and South Carolina won that game. That was the Perry Costello game. Was Tanner still coaching?
Yeah,
at that point?
It was still Tanner then. Yeah, they were. He was right at the end. He you know, we've talked a lot about Hagen Smith and his strikeouts, and Jess Todd's name came up, you know, and when Smith had that big strikeout game, Todd had that game against South Carolina in the SEC tournament, when I believe they were ranked number 1 in the country. They went through a period kind of like what Arkansas is going through right now, where, you know, they had 2 or 3 years there where, man, they were just better than everybody else. And now they were able to close the deal, win the whole thing. And so, you know, that's why Ray Tanner's their athletic director now.
Yeah. You mentioned strikeouts, and Hagen Smith, he's averaging 17 strikeouts per 9 innings and enters the weekend and enters tonight's game with 288 career strikeouts. That's third all-time at Arkansas. Matt Carnes has 301, and I guess if he reached his average, he would move up to number 2 on the list. Nick Schmidt's the all-time career strikeouts leader at 345, so still some distance there, but good chance tonight to pass Matt Carnes, who played from 79 to 82, Chuck, and become the second leading career strikeouts pitcher at Arkansas.
Yeah, now actually Carnes played a little bit later than that. Arkansas was in the SEC when Carnes pitched in the 90s. That was a misprint somewhere because Matt pitched in the 90s here. He came out of Oklahoma. And
flip-flop David Walling and Carnes' years is what they've done. So,
actually, that's not right on Walling either, because Walling pitched here when Norm was here. They got the dates messed up. Is the bottom line.
That's what I'm saying. They flip-flop those.
What I was going to say was that I know I'm old, because with the exception of Tabor, everybody he's passing, I did the games when they played. So I can tell you about all of them. And you know, there's more emphasis now on strikeouts. The game's changed. And if a guy pitches 6 innings and has 13 strikeouts, I mean, you know, he's all world. You know, back in the day, it's like, well, you know, if you pitch to contact a little more, you might get to work 8 or 9 innings. So the game's changed, and it's different now. And the way the game's pitched, the way the game's played, Hagen Smith's as good as there is.
All right, we'll get into some basketball, more baseball coming up. Your calls and texts are welcome on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. We're brought to you by the famous Yum Dinger from Pradco. They make them in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes right in their Fort Smith plant. Make them by the truckloads. Get the Elder Magic. Be ready to go for that full moon cycle here at the end of the month when the fish are on the spot. Find it at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, and LureNet.com, and tackle stores everywhere. It's the Yum Dinger by Pradco.
Your show is the best one in the state. Y'all are the true ESPN radio.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Nothing says summer fun like fishing with a Thill Bobber with the family. America's favorite floats by Thill are available in a variety of sizes and colors. These premium balsa wood floats are made by the thousands at Pradco in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They are great at detecting the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. America's favorite floats by Thill.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is The Morning Rush.
All the road hogs have the hog calls and the tailgate ready to roll.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep West Ark Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
West Ark Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Engagement season is in full swing, and Diamond Center wants to be part of your story. For the entire month of April, we're offering 5 years of 0% interest on purchases. That's right, 5 years, 60 months, 0 interest financing. There has never been a better time to pick out the perfect engagement ring and pop the question. Let Diamond Center help you begin this next step of your journey together with 5 years of 0 interest financing for the entire month of April on all custom design and in-stock pieces of jewelry. Diamond Center, a legacy of love.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Jaeger's Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Get these red-hot buys at any of our 4 locations. Save $90 on the DeWalt 20-volt max trimmer and blower kit. Only $199 with your Ace Rewards card. Triazicide 10-pound granules, ready to spray or concentrate is $7.99 with Ace Rewards. And buy batteries and chargers and get the tool free on select DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Craftsman power tools. Find us online at JaegersHardware.com.
How do I drive more traffic to my website? How do I increase my Google rankings? If these are just a few of the questions you have for your business, then we should talk. In addition to sports radio marketing, ESPN Arkansas can help your business be found online. From website design to geo-targeted campaigns, search engine marketing, social media management, streaming video campaigns, and much more. ESPN Arkansas is your digital marketing partner. Go to ESPNArkansasDigital.com for your free digital marketing audit or email us at sales@hitthatline.com to schedule an appointment.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
I was talking to a guy yesterday. You used that word project a minute ago, Tommy. He's just a 4-star? That's just kind of what it's like right now. He's only a 4-star. We wouldn't be interested in him. Things sure do change.
Yeah, it's amazing how our standards have climbed the ladder. Oh, New York strip? No, thank you. I only eat filet mignon now. So, hey, we'll get to some basketball news in just a second. We're brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72, off of I-49 in Springdale. The best brands like Grand Design, Forest River. They've got the new Brinkley Model Zs. They have a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell, plus a award-winning service department to back you up and to always be there for you. Wheels RV, again, 5 miles west of exit 72, off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. Before we get to basketball, I want to congratulate Jordan Weber and the Arkansas Gymnastics team. I don't know anything about it. I can tell you which one's the vault and which one's the beam, and that's about as far as I can go, Chuck. But they finished 7th in the country. Best finish in over a decade. I think they finished 6th back in 2012, but great season for Jordan Weaver. They were eliminated in yesterday's semifinals at the Elite Eight, if you will, of gymnastics, and really a historical season for Jordan Weaver and her gym backs.
They had a great year, 7th in the country, and that's a really remarkable finish. They call it the Grade 8 in gymnastics. They'd been to that when the Cooks were here, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they maybe went once or twice. And they kind of went through a period there after all that where they weren't quite as good. I mean, it was a good program, but they weren't finishing quite as high as they had before. And Jordan Weaver's really done a remarkable job. You know, she was so young when they hired her, raised some eyebrows, but she's clearly mature beyond her years. And she's really done a remarkable job with that program. So congratulations to her and those young ladies, because there's a lot of, there's so many programs out there. We get desensitized to when somebody finishes in the top 10 in the entire country. That's a big, big deal regardless of the sport.
Yep, end up finishing 7th nationally, so congratulations to Coach Weber and her ladies on a remarkable, tremendous season. All right, let's get into some basketball news. It's all brought to you by the Lindbergh Real Estate Group, serving all the Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all of your real estate needs, go to lindberghteam.com. And by Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit maverickmalemedical.com. All right, the news of the day, Kenny Payne, name that some of you will know from his days at Kentucky as an assistant. Some of you will know him as the head coach at Louisville for a short time. Arkansas played them then. Chuck, he's going to be Cal's right-hand man, for lack of a better sense. Somewhere he's been before and somewhere he'll be again in Fayetteville.
I'll tell you what I remember about Kenny Payne was him scoring 12 points in 1989 when they beat us in the NCAA tournament when he played for Louisville. That's how I remember Kenny Payne. Yeah, he's been with Cal, pretty much along the way. And he's got some NBA pedigree. He left Cal to go to work for the Knicks and went from there to go to work at Oregon and then took the job at Louisville. I think I've got my timeline right. From what I understand, he is exceptionally good at working with big men. And, the time when he was there was when they won it all. So he's a really good basketball man. Now, I know it didn't go the way everyone had hoped it would at Louisville. In fact, it was bad at Louisville. But that doesn't mean you're not a good basketball coach. It means the situation wasn't right there and you weren't the head coach at the right time at that place. And it can snowball. But I don't think anybody's ever disputed his basketball acumen. The guy's a basketball lifer.
Yeah, you just think about the time and what was going on in the world with COVID and then the transfer portal. And, even the most seasoned head coaches had some problems with all of that transition during the time he became head coach at Louisville.
Well, it was an awful time. And, they didn't win very much. And, the buck stops with the head coach. I'm not dismissing that. But, he's going to be the associate head coach here. And the time that he spent with Cal at Kentucky was very good. I mean, they were a good team. And I think it's a good addition. I mean, you look at this staff. I mean, it's Bruiser Flint was a head coach. Kenny Payne was a head coach. Some of these other guys may have been too. He surrounded himself with people who've sat in the big chair. And I think it goes to what you have to have in terms of the way you handle everything if you're going to work for John Calipari. You've got to be comfortable with the fact that everything you do, right or wrong, is going to be the center of attention. And so I like head coaches who hire head coaches. It's been my experience observing that is very beneficial.
Yeah. You mentioned his pedigree or his timeline of the jobs he's had. You mentioned Oregon. That was about 20 years ago, from 04 to 09. Then
okay, I guess that was before Louisville.
Was at Kentucky from 2010 to 2020. He was the assistant coach, then the associate head coach for the last 6 years. You mentioned the Knicks, where he's an assistant coach from 2020 to 22, and then Louisville, as we've been discussing, from 22 to 24, when really you're coming out of COVID, you were going through all the transfer portal and NIL stuff, and now from 24 beyond, he'll have Arkansas on his resume. So, coached some great players, part of some big recruits, and like you said, big men are his specialty.
Well, and let's not, again, you've got to, I think, understand that, they've got Big Z coming in. He's not going to be the only big man that they've got coming in. I think this has been in the works from the moment that John Calipari came to Arkansas. I read an article. It was the day after the introduction. I don't know if it was a national article or if it was an article that originated in Kentucky and went national. But it mentioned then that Kenny Payne was very likely to join the Arkansas staff. So
I remember that. Yeah.
I think this has been expected.
All right, what do you think about it? The McLarty Daniel hotline. We're going to put some quarters in the machine, get that thing working. 877-377-6963. You can join us on the McLarty Daniel hotline. We'll start with JR, who's on line one. JR, you're on the Morning Rush.
Morning, guys. A couple questions for you real quick. Basketball and football. I've seen where the punter, Fletcher, has entered transfer portal. Guys, get your guys' opinion on that. And the other thing is, have they released the basketball schedule for this fall? Has it been released yet? So, anyway, y'all have a good day.
Thank you. No, basketball schedule has not been released. That'll probably happen about the time the school year begins. I would guess. Now, the conference is, I believe, has indicated who's going to play whom, maybe. But no, there's not been a schedule that's been released, and it won't be for a while. They'll work on putting together games now.
Now, in basketball, it's not like football where, like, Sam Pittman inherited the non-conference schedule.
No.
Basketball, they don't work nearly as far out, and I don't know what games would have already kind of been in the pipeline or on the books, if you will, that Muss's staff had set up, that Arkansas will continue to play.
Most of this stuff's year to year. You may occasionally have a 2-year contract with someone. I can remember, for example, when we went to Colorado State in basketball a few years back, I went there in football. That was not the basketball staff that scheduled that game. That basketball game was part of the football package. And so you may have situations from time to time come up where a coach inherits a game. But most of the time, 90% of the schedule they're going to put together themselves. And, look, I would imagine, in fact, I would feel very strongly that Arkansas is going to be in one of these marquee tournaments. And I know the Bahamas was a big tournament, but there are bigger tournaments out there. There are bigger preseason games than the ones Arkansas has played in, pre-conference games, I should say. I think they'll be in one of those this year. Right. Hey, let me say this about Fletcher, too. Caller asked about Fletcher before we go on. I didn't see that one coming. I got to be honest. I did not see that coming. I do not know all the particulars. The first thing that I thought was, well, he got a better deal somewhere else. I also know Arkansas's got a very good, Devin Bale's a good punter. He transferred in from Northern Colorado. He sat out last year, averaged about 42 the year before out there. I don't think if he played in a game last year, it was only a punt or two, and he was able to maintain his red shirt because he's a redshirt junior. And I'm going to tell you, the Boomers this past spring game came from him. I mean, he's pretty good. I'm not suggesting Fletcher lost his job, and I don't know the particulars, and I don't want to speak out of turn. I got some ideas, but I don't know if they're correct. But I will admit I did not see that one coming. But I think they'll be okay at that position. I really do.
Let's go back to the McLarty Daniel hotline. Jimmy in Conway. Jimmy, welcome to the weekend. Welcome to the Morning Rush.
Top of the morning to you, fellas.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, I've got some family in Kentucky, and he called me yesterday because of the Jerry Jones supposed we'll pay them double whatever Kentucky's paying. He wanted to give me his thoughts on that. And his words are, you will have no problem getting the players. He said it's the coaching that you're not going to like. That's what he said. And he asked me, he said, why didn't they support Musselman like that? And I said, I really can't answer you. I don't know. And he said, another thing, he said, your football coach has got to be saying, now what is going on here? Why can't I get some support like this? And he's absolutely right there. Just a thought, guys. Have a great weekend. Go Hogs.
Oh, I'm sure in every athletic department there's, just like when someone gets some additional, somebody gets a new office, somebody gets something that the others don't get. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a little private conversation about it, but I don't think it's such that it affects the work environment. I don't think it's anything like that. Do I think Muss probably and I don't think Muss has been obsessed with this. He's got his own issues out there. Do I think he looks at this and says, "Man, how come they didn't do that for me?" Well, probably, yeah. I think he probably thought that. And does Sam Pittman think, "Man, I wish I could get that"? Yeah, he's probably thought that. But here's the thing: we've had it, and other schools and have had it too. When and I'll give you an example. When Dave Van Horn was hired in baseball, he got all the stuff Norm had been fighting with Coach Broyles for years. I mean, it's just and it's not a knock on anybody. It's just how it works. That's how the game works. And so maybe they have thought that. I don't know, but they've. And none of those guys are broke now. I mean, let's not cry any tears for them.
This Jerry Jones stuff that's been running rampant on social media. I don't know if all that's exactly.
I don't believe that
the way it's laid out. I don't know if I'd believe every detail of those reports of doubling up the money.
Well,
you think that's true?
No, I don't. Now, my first response, and I don't know anything about it, I'm speaking off the top of my head. Well, if Jerry Jones is going to commit that kind of money, he's going to commit it to the football program. That was my first thought. Now, is he part of this? I mean, I have no idea. The truth is I have no idea. But sometimes people have this idea that people are just willing to, just throw money at things. And some people are, but most people aren't. And what the Tysons have done and what the Stevens have done, or what John Tyson did, and Warren Stevens. Let's not just say the Tysons and the Stevens. Let's speak of them specifically. It's incredibly generous. It's incredibly generous. I don't care how much money you have. Giving money with no guarantee of return, just on, betting on the come, as the gamblers say. You got to have something inside you that makes you do that. And so I don't think things like that should be taken for granted. And sometimes those of us who aren't in that position assume that it's very easy to do it and wonder why others don't. But we've not been in that chair before, so I can't really answer that. But I know that
well, I'm willing to sit in that chair for a day.
Well, I would certainly try it too. But it is incredibly generous what they've done, and I think sometimes people have the idea that, well, Jerry Jones is worth a mint. All of a sudden Jerry Jones is going to be the biggest Razorback basketball supporter in the world. I mean, he might be. I don't know, but I find that to be a stretch. Though. I find it to be a stretch. I'll just put it that way.
And I don't want to get off on a rabbit hole or a tangent here, but just because you're a billionaire, like we're just flippantly talking about 3 billionaires connected to the program.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean you have but it doesn't mean you walk into the next room and they got $100 bills stacked floor to ceiling. You may be worth $1 billion or whatever, but that doesn't mean you have cash. We all have net worths because you got homes and you got properties. But that doesn't mean cash. When you got to put money into an NIL program, that comes in cash.
Well,
and you talk about return on investment, there's zero financial return on whatever money you give. You are donating that money. You are giving that money away, because an investment means it's coming back to you in the form of cash plus a return. You'll never get the money back, nor will you get a return other than possibly seeing your school win a championship.
Well, that's the return. And, but the caller's original question, are there conversations in other departments? I don't know. I'm not in there, but it certainly is striking, when you look at those kinds of dollars, no doubt.
Yeah. I find it very hard to believe Jerry Jones made the offer or the guarantees that are out there on the internet to double any Kentucky players.
I would be skeptical, yes. I would be very, very skeptical.
I find that hard to believe. He does like to support winning programs, as RB says. Yes, he does support a winner, but I think
that story, if it's not been debunked, I would imagine it will be. I just don't believe that.
But you know who won't debunk it? Jerry. Because Jerry doesn't mind his name being out there and being associated to things like this. Jerry's getting a little limelight, a little love on that, and he loves his university. But I'm with you. If he's gonna throw money into it, and maybe what John Tyson has done and what Warren Stevens has done for basketball, maybe this would motivate him. Hey, I want that moment like John Tyson had for football. Not that Jerry needs love because he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, for crying out loud, but one of the most famous people in sports. But everybody loves that moment like that John Tyson got in that press conference.
Well, that's the moment we saw. There are a lot of benefactors to that university, and the Tyson family and other families have been very, very generous over the years. That Tyson, that poultry center, which is, nationally renowned, world renowned, that's, it bears the family name. And that track and field facility, which is the indoor facility, which is, they hold world championships there. It's world class. And so they've been very generous, and there are other families that have been very generous. So many of the original Walmart investors with Sam Walton, like the Bogles, they've been the backbone of that place for years and years and years. We see it in athletics, but it's not just in athletics. How many buildings in our state, how many programs that have just done good for the people in our state have borne the Walker name, the Baum name? These people have been huge difference makers in our state. Now, sports is important in our state. The Razorbacks are the tie that binds us all together. And they recognize that, and they recognize the goodwill that comes from that, and they're experiencing that right now. But all of these people, they've been good corporate neighbors. Now, they take knocks, and people talk about them being too big, for us sometimes, and occasionally maybe there's been something to that. But these people, Walmart, they've benefited that university in so many ways and changed a lot of lives. Now, it's going to be fun to watch our basketball team, but it's not really going to change our life. It's really not. But a lot of the things these families have done at that university have changed lives. And but this is something we notice, and without question, it has lifted the spirits of an entire state. And there is value in that, financially and emotionally.
Why could my parents and grandparents not have bought me 100 shares of Walmart the year of my birth? Why?
Well, that's right.
Why? We could go build a building. I could build the Charles Barrett Excellence in Broadcasting Center
If you'd been
campus there.
8 years old and your grandparents had said, hey, I'm going to give you 100 shares of Walmart stock instead of that pony you want, you wouldn't have bought into it.
No.
But now you look back, man, that sure would have been a nice gift.
It would have been a good investment. All right, speaking of Kenny Payne coming to the neighborhood here, Chuck, you're going to need a good realtor, and you know the best that can help him find that perfect home.
Well, Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, has been my partner for a long time, and, I can speak of their professionalism. There's no doubt about that. I can remember the first time I went to them. I was a first-time home buyer, and I was absolutely clueless. They made it happen for me. They answered all the dumb questions that I had. And then, it came time to sell, it came time to buy, and I thought I was smart then. I'd been through it. And, things happen. Things come up. You realize real quickly that you're not smart, and you need someone who is on your side of the table. And that's what I found with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. And they're the best trained in the business. And, when you look at the real estate market right now and all that's going on, all the economic factors that affect the real estate market, you really want somebody, whether you're a buyer or a seller, who does it every day, who understands exactly what all this means and, most importantly, what it means to you. Now, they've got offices in Northwest Arkansas. They're in Washington County. They're in Benton County. They're in Fort Smith and Branson. They've got a wide selection of homes, a whole bunch of them. You can check it out online at WeichertGriffin.com.
It's Fastball Friday here on the Morning Rush. Baseball tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday is scheduled in South Carolina at Columbia as the Hogs, second rank in the country, take on number 20 South Carolina. 6 p.m. tonight, 2 p.m. on Saturday, 12:30, Chuck, on Sunday. All 3 games will be on the SEC Network Plus, so you're going to get the South Carolina Homer commentators on there. So you need the Hit That Line Now app. So Phil, who will be flying solo this weekend, can describe the action for you. But big series this weekend. Hagen Smith with a chance to move up to number 2 in career strikeouts.
Yeah, and that's probably going to happen. If not tonight, maybe the next time out. Most important thing is that they win. It's South Carolina's had a good year. I mean, they're ranked, and they're in a spot where I'm sure they're thinking we can still host an NCAA regional. I'm sure they're thinking that. Now, they're not going to be a national seed unless they just get, incredibly hot. But I'm sure in their minds they're thinking we can host. And when you've got what now is the number 2 ranked team in the country coming into your house for the weekend, I'm sure it's going to be full. I don't know what the weather's going to be like over there. That'll have something to do with it. But I would imagine it'll be full. That's a pretty good baseball crowd over there. Tanner educated them pretty well over the years. And they'll get on you a little bit, and they understand the game. So, hey, it wasn't easy in Tuscaloosa. It's not going to be easy anywhere you go.
Yeah. I don't think any of us thought that we'd be talking about South Carolina and Tennessee and Vandy chasing Kentucky down halfway through the conference race, but that's where we're at over in the SEC East, and this is, with an 8-7 conference record for South Carolina, this is a critical series for them because Kentucky right now is running away with the East.
It's when your team's in first place, man, the standings in baseball are really important. When your team's not in first place, you can still be really good, host an NCAA regional, and essentially be in the same spot from the moment the NCAA tournament starts as some of the other teams. The exception is if you're a national seed, you get to play at home. So, Kentucky's still got to go win it. Just like on our side, Arkansas and A&M, and maybe some others still have to go win it. It's all still out there.
Yeah. Looking at the Bet Saracen app right now, boys, Arkansas is -190. South Carolina plus 160. You can find action on that. Some other wagers that you'll find. Some prop bets. Arkansas team over half a team era and 7.5 hits allowed. That's there. Arkansas team over 4.5 bases on balls or walks and over 7.5 left on base. So some fun stuff for the weekend that you can find there. All right, we'll check in with Ty coming up at the top of the hour. See how he sounds. See if the honey and the bourbon is doing any good. We'll do that. We'll get back into basketball. And your calls and text are all welcome on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. You need the Lindbergh team, home of Arkansas's only instant offer program. Get a cash offer on your home in only 72 hours. Lindbergh Real Estate Group is the #1 team in Arkansas with over $1 billion sold and voted best of the best 10 years in a row, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and now the River Valley. Find out more at LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
It's a good day to be in Arkansas. You know why? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1.5 million. And the best part? The winning ticket can only be sold in Arkansas. Maybe today. Maybe even to you. Can you imagine? There's a jackpot drawing every Wednesday and Saturday night. So your next chance to win is coming up very soon. Try Lotto today for only $2 per play. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Get ready to roll this season with huge savings during New Holland's Ready to Roll sales event. Going on now at WT Equipment. Right now, get 0% financing up to 48 months on hay tools, 60 months on mid-range tractors, and 72 months on compacts. Or choose cash back and save thousands. Whether you need consistent strength and efficiency for your daily grind or an upgrade for the weekend chores, WT has the machines you need with the deals you want. Subject to credit approval, standard term conditions and restrictions apply. Down payment may be required. WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
The Camping World RV Expo is coming to the Choctaw Casino and Resort in Pocola, Oklahoma, April 18th through the 21st. Admission and parking are free. Tour over 50 fully staged new RVs starting at less than $5 a day. Plus, take advantage of special RV Expo pricing. Participate in the ultimate RV giveaway for your chance to win a new RV and more. Don't miss the Camping World RV Expo at the Choctaw Casino and Resort in Pocola, Oklahoma, April 18th through the 21st. Learn more at campingworld.com/Pocola. Certain restrictions apply. For more details, visit campingworld.com/Pocola.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. And you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Sherwin-Williams during the 4-day super sale, April 19th through the 22nd, and get 40% off paints and stains with prices starting at $26.69. That means 40% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 40% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine, a much cooler day. Slight chance of seeing a shower or thunderstorm across the south. Highs today in the mid to upper 60s. We'll see a decent chance of some showers and storms tonight. Overnight low in the upper 40s. And then Saturday will host a few showers, a few isolated thunderstorms. Highs near 60. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
You're listening to the Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy yesterday. You used that word project a minute ago, Tommy. Oh, he's just a 4-star? That's just kind of what it's like right now. I mean, he's only a 4-star. We wouldn't be interested in him. Things sure do change.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text the Morning Rush on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bensenville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
Well, how you doing? Hour 2 of the Morning Rush rolling on a Fastball Friday. Tommy and Chuck here. We got a young whippersnapper in the bullpen. He probably is not coming out. In fact, he's the bullpen catcher today. As Ty, laying out in seedy bars till late hours of the night, has lost his voice due to cigarette smoke and drinking and carousing, Chuck. This is what happens when you're at a young age. You know, and you haven't learned your lesson. You lay out all night and you lose your voice because, you weren't in bed by 10 like your mama told you to be. So,
youth is great. I mean, you can hang out at the golf course and gamble all day and, hang out in the wind, drink beer, go out, burn it at both ends, have a couple of smokes, chase some girls around. And then you get up and you do a radio show at 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, most of the time when you're Ty's age, you can pull that off. I mean, you can pull it off, but sometimes it catches up to you.
Yeah, and I believe it's caught up to young Ty. I mean, is the honey and the bourbon doing any good over there in the corner? We've got him. We've set him aside.
Give him credit. He came in this morning.
Yeah,
he came in. He's sitting around with the best of them, and you got to give him credit for that.
He's the best call screener in the business today, folks.
Right.
So.
Being demoted. No, it's helping a little bit. I think Betty's getting me some of her throat coat tea, which I think should help too.
Some real therapeutic
I'll tell you how it'll get
tea?
well. Seriously, how it'll get well. Don't talk. I mean, really. I'm joking,
We've recommended
man.
that before.
I hope you feel better, and I appreciate you coming in today and making everything work in the studio.
Yeah, so Ty is actually doing a great job supporting us, so we sound halfway like we know what we're doing here this morning. Hey, it's going to be a busy weekend on Arkansas roadways, as we've told you that Arkansas State Police are going to be out today through the 21st. Busy weekends. If you see extra state police out, it's an intensified campaign. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DWI across our state. We all know that it's against the law to drive under the influence, particularly of drugs, but even prescription drugs. I think sometimes we get confused and say, well, the doctor prescribed that. Whether the drug is obtained legally or illegally, driving while impaired or drug impaired poses a threat to the driver, to the passengers in your car, and other vehicles on the road as well. Drug-impaired driving is a serious safety issue for drivers and law enforcement on Arkansas roadways. Will intensify their campaign through this weekend. Hey, if you feel different, you drive different. If you drive high, get a DWI. This message brought to you by the Arkansas State Police. Got some Arkansas basketball news we'll get into in just a minute. Baseball with Scott Tabor. He's coming up in about 15. Chuck, I know you're excited for the NBA playoffs as they get underway. And I was looking at some notes here that we had that actually Ty had put together about some of the Razorbacks.
He's feigning interest in the NBA playoffs, just like you are.
Yeah, you got the East. On the East side, you got the Bulls and the Heat, and then on the West side, the Kings and the Pelicans. The winner of the Kings and the Pelicans advances to face Oklahoma City in the first round as the 8th seed. The loser is eliminated. Over on the East side, the winner of the Bulls and the Heat, they advance to face Boston in the first round as the number 8 seed. The loser is eliminated. I don't fully understand all of this play-in tournament. I don't fully understand all this, but I know that P-Bev and Bobby against the Pacers. You got Ricky against the Knicks. You got Gafford against the Clippers. So, and then you got, of course, our boys over there with the Thunder. So we got some Razorbacks to watch when it comes to these NBA playoffs.
Yeah, it'll be fun, and it is fun to watch them. It's fun to watch them every night. Watch how their careers have developed, and it's such a long season. I mean, the NBA, they play 82 games, and then the playoffs last 2 months. So it is a long season they're gonna play literally into June, and we're in April, and the playoffs are getting underway. So it's it's nuts. But my team's playing well this year. I'm a Knicks fan and have been since I was a child. Walt Frazier lured me in years ago, and I've always followed them, and they're good this year for the first time in a while. So Tom Thibodeau's a really good coach, and I like watching him play. Hey, I was just reading something during the break. You guys, I'm going to completely change the subject. You guys may know this. Jack Leiter pitched at Vanderbilt. He was just called up by the Rangers, made his major league debut last night. Got shelled, but the Rangers scored a bunch of runs and they won the game. His dad is Al Leiter, who played in the big leagues. Al Leiter's brother, Mark, also played in the big leagues. And now, Mark's son, Mark Jr., pitches for the Cubs. So you think about this. What are the odds of two brothers making the major leagues and then each of them having a son that makes the major leagues? I mean, it's got to be a cajillion to one.
It'd be like both Kelce's having a kid make the NFL.
Yeah, so. I was just reading that. Well, it's like, both of them. It'd be like Jason and Travis, each having boys that made it to the National Football League. The odds of something like that happening are long. But I just thought that was that's a strange deal. I mean, and it's really remarkable.
We got a story later on. I guess we can talk about it now, where Jason Kelce lost his Super Bowl ring in a hot tub full of chili. Only a Kelce could be involved in something
that. That can happen.
He was doing some kind of radio show or podcast or something that was Skyline Chili, and lost his Super Bowl ring in essentially what appears to be a hot tub full of Skyline Chili.
Yeah. Well, I might pay somebody to dive into that chili and find my ring if I was Jason Kelce.
So, and can you imagine if Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift go through the practice of holy matrimony, and then have a child? I don't think that child would ever probably. He would be destined for greater things in the NFL, right?
Well, I know that kid would have the spotlight. It'd be like one of the Kardashian kids. I mean, they'd have the spotlight on him from the minute they were, first made an appearance.
It'd be like Prince Harry's kids or something. I don't know. It'd be you talk about royalty.
Jackson's
that would
kid.
be royalty. All right, McLarty Daniel hotline open, 877-377-6963. If you got a call or a text that you'd like to share with us this morning, RB is on the text line, wants to know what time Ty's tee time is today. Since his voice doesn't work, he figures Ty will be on the golf course. I'd say about 2:15 today would probably be when Ty
there's no
will
reason to wait that late. There's no reason to
probably
wait. You've already called in sick.
I'm
might as well go.
I'm supposed to see a girl this weekend. I don't know how that's going to go with this voice not being up to standard. We'll see.
Well, talking less might help. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Sometimes you can talk yourself into a bad day, Ty.
That's true.
All right, so Ty's tea time, he can bump that up to the 11 a.m. hour today, it sounds like. All right, we'll get to our Morning Rush Daily Question. That is on the way as well. We'll get back to Arkansas basketball headlines in just a little bit as well, because there is news with Kenny Payne officially joining the staff. And we'll talk to Scott Tabor. All of that on the way. Want to remind you that happy hour is so great. They do it twice daily at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith from 3 to 6 and then again from 9 to close. They have happy hour with half-price drinks and $5 appetizers. They do that Monday through Friday. Then every Monday, it's 50-cent wings. So don't miss all the fun and the festivities. You can watch NBA playoff basketball. You can get your friends and your buddies together, maybe after a round of afternoon golf today. It's all from 3 to 6 and, again, 9 to close. TGI Fridays, 540 at Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. And don't miss 50-cent wings on Monday. All right, the Morning Rush Daily Question, Scott Tabor, and your calls and text all coming up here on the Morning Rush. Glad you're here on a Fastball Friday, 877-377-6963 for the McLarty.
The Cal era is here. Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley model.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacale, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the #1 source for all your sports betting this season and every season. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends all at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. The fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite leagues and events. Go to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure you use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. Bet online, where the game starts.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Abe from Woodland. Read about it.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon!
Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess.
I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
You know, basketball's still kind of the centerpiece of conversation around our state. Barbershops, coffee shops, on the tee box at the golf course. That's still the conversation. I think that is where it begins and ends, Chuck, right now is what's going on with this basketball team. We took several calls yesterday. Really kind of when you dig down and you look at the root of what they're talking about, they're just it's the hope that they have for the next 2 or 3 seasons, really maybe even for this season. And we've talked about the news of Kenny Payne being the kind of the top assistant or the top assistant for Coach Calipari. When you get down to what we're all hopeful for, I think it just comes back to an expectation. What is your expectation? This is a program that's been to Elite Eights twice and a Sweet 16 in 3 of the previous 4 seasons. So, you know, I think that's where we kind of got a bottom line at this morning on our Morning Rush Daily Question, brought to you by Red River Dodge in Heber Springs. What do you think the expectations of the fan base right now is entering year 1 this fall with Coach Calipari?
The sky,
yeah,
everything, the whole world.
Yeah.
You know, it may not, perhaps it shouldn't be that way, but I mean, it is. That's just the reality of the situation. But as I came to realize the night that he was introduced and I was able to spend a little time with him, he's not fazed by any of that. That's just another day at the office for him. That's the expectation every day for a John Calipari coach team, is they're going to win the whole thing. You know, we're going to win the whole tournament. And you know, Kentucky fans point to the lack of early round success, and but you know, they wouldn't have been happy if they'd lost in the Elite Eight either. They'd have been just as mad if they'd lost in the Elite Eight as if they'd lost in the first round. You know, I do think that's interesting. I think it's a legitimate question. I don't know the answer to it. You know, 2 Elite Eights and a Sweet 16 when you hadn't been there in a long time. I mean, I was there. I had a ringside seat for all of it. I saw our people who traveled, and I mean, it was great. And we bragged about it to anybody who would listen. I don't know what the expectation's going to be now, but I suspect it's going to be a little higher, fair or unfair.
You know, in our show open today, Ty and Big C put in there your you know, it was a joking comment, but there's some truth buried with your tongue in cheek there about, oh, he's only a 4-star. Well, we wouldn't be interested in that. You know, our expectation in everything has ratcheted up as a result of, you know, what I think some fans consider to be the basketball messiah, if you will. And I just wonder if the expectation is no longer that a 4-star is good enough in recruiting, and I think there are some that feel that way. What is the expectation for the results of a season truly are? I mean, what are they?
Oh, I think people expect to go a long way. I mean, I think, you know, when you look at what he's being paid and what is being thrown into the basketball program, and you know, stories kind of take on lives of their own. I mean, you know, $3 million in NIL suddenly becomes $5 million, and by the time you repeat the story a couple of times, well, I got $10 million in there.
Yeah.
And so the expectation rises every time the stories are embellished a little bit, and But that's
Did you
just
hear
how it
what Jerry
works.
Jones is doing?
Yeah, I mean, but that's just how it works. And I'd be interested to hear what people have to say. I do suspect the expectations are much higher now.
Yeah. So, all right, that's your Morning Rush daily question. What are your expectations for Arkansas basketball? We'd love to hear from you. That's the Morning Rush daily question, brought to you by Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Let's talk to former Razorback pitcher Scott Tabor on the Morning Rush. Our conversation with Scott is brought to you by Alumni Hall, your ultimate Razorback shopping experience. Located next to Whole Foods in Fayetteville, or shop alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Razorback fans shop.
Go crazy at Paul Walker! Go nuts!
Well, the Razorbacks pick up wins 31 and 32 midweek, taking down Texas Tech twice, once in very exciting come-from-behind fashion. And the Razorbacks find themselves ranked #2 as they head on the road starting tonight at Columbia, South Carolina, to take on the 20th-ranked South Carolina Gamecocks. Former Razorback pitcher Scott Tabor joins us now. It's brought to you by Alumni Hall. Scott, that was an exciting midweek series. Do you remember any time in your career where your team got down 7 runs to battle back and win in the fashion the Razorbacks did on Tuesday night in Game 1 of that midweek stretch?
You do know that's over 40 years ago, right? But
Well, you can make up any story you want. Half the people won't believe it.
Every time I pitched, we would get down 10. I'd come out of the game and go sit on the bench and watch us come back and win. So that's the way it really was. You always have some wins like that, and I tell you, it was fantastic. I don't remember any specifics, but and I always go back to that '79 team because it was all new to me. It was my freshman year, and that team never, ever, ever felt like we were out of a game because we had hitting up and down the lineup, and so I do remember some games, and we're down by 6 going to the 7th inning, and nobody's panicking. We're in the bullpen, and all of a sudden hits start coming, and you'd get a little pop fly over the shortstop's head to score 2 runs with 2 outs, and then the next thing you know, the game's tied, and we win it, going to the 9th. So every team has those games, and sometimes they go your way, and sometimes they go the other way. And it was great to see because those guys need that. When you come off a couple of losses and at Alabama, and they weren't like we got blown out losses. They just happened. They had a freshman pitcher on Sunday that just had one of those days that every pitcher has. He statistically wasn't that great up until that day, and he was just nails. He was pitching the baseball, and it's hard to beat that.
Hey, I want to go back to that Tuesday night game where they came back. We tend to focus when a team comes from behind on their bats came alive and they scored a bunch of runs. First thing that's got to happen is somebody's got to come out of the bullpen and hold the other team right where they are. I mean, they gave up 6 runs in that inning. The bullpen gave up 1 run the rest of the way. If you stop and think about it, 7 runs, 8 runs doesn't always win a midweek game. You do have a chance to come back, but the first thing you got to do is stop them from scoring. I thought Arkansas's bullpen, and some of those guys that pitched Tuesday and Wednesday don't always pitch on the weekends, but I thought those guys were the real reason Arkansas won 2 games.
Exactly. Yep. And that's exactly right. Chuck, we have some guys. I got to tell you, I'm a huge Cooper Dossett fan. I love watching the way he throws. He's confident. He comes up and he nibbles, and he's got great stuff. Faraday and Fouch. I think Christian Fouch, I think Fouch has he's been working with a new splitter. And a splitter, he now has an unhittable pitch. When he throws it and he really comes through it, it's unhittable. It just drops off the table. So now he has you call it a kill pitch. So he has something he can always go to when he needs to get a guy, a swing and miss, or just a stare at it and wonder kind of pitch. Up and down the bullpen, I'm just looking at names, and there's nobody that you would take off to not travel. You could travel every one of these guys and know they would contribute when they came in the game. But then again, we see how Tuesday, Bivey's got great stuff, and he just had a day that we're all expecting, him to go 5-6 innings and give up nothing. Well, Texas Tech can hit. Texas Tech hit when we were in the Southwest Conference. They always led the league. Texas Tech and TCU, for some reason, always had the best hitting teams in the league. They just didn't have any pitching. And so they continue. I don't know if it's the air down there, or the water, or the fact they play in 30-mile-an-hour winds every day. Don't know what it is, but they can always hit.
Hey, I was thinking about this the other night when I was watching the game. I want to ask you about this. You know, Dave, when he goes out and makes a pitching change, I mean, he's got the same walk every time. I don't know what's said out there. You've been in that spot. I mean, what did Norm say to you when he came and took you out of a guy? I mean, what goes through a pitcher's mind? What's the conversation like when you're being yanked and you just soon stay in the ball game, all things being equal?
Well, Norm didn't. If Norm came out to the mound, it's because things weren't going great, but you weren't coming out of the game. Our pitching coach came out to take us out of the game. But I
okay.
I do remember an incident down in at Texas Tech, and it was a must-win series, and I was the last guy. I think we were 1-1, and we needed to win that last game. And got near the end of the game, and all of a sudden, our catcher Ron Reynolds started calling pitches that just they weren't matching my head. Usually, you don't have to shake him off, and all of a sudden, I'm shaking him off, and he put it down again. I'm shaking him off, and I go, what's going on? All of a sudden, timeout. The umpire raises his hands, and I'm looking at Ron. Ron comes trotting out there, and look over, and here comes Norm. He is flying out to sit. I thought we were under nuclear attack or something. I had no idea what was going on. He looks at me. He kind of gets right in my face. He goes, "When I call a pitch, you throw it." I go. I look at Ron. He goes, "Oh yeah, I've got to tell you, he's calling the pitches right now." I go, "Yes, sir." and he does.
You're shaking off the headband.
I'm shaking off Norm, and I don't even know it. And they aren't. He's not calling very good pitches. And then he said something to Ron, and Ron said something back to him, and Ron looked at me, put it on his chest, because I'm calling him now. I said, okay. So, because things started going south, and Norm had just decided all of a sudden for the first time all season that he should start calling pitches. I go, where'd that come from? And our pitching coach wasn't real happy about that.
That's funny. Was Howard Hilton your pitching coach?
No, Tom Hilton. Correct.
Tom Hilton. I'm saying, not Howard.
Howard was a pitcher. Yeah, he was a pitcher there.
Yeah. I got my Hiltons mixed up.
Yeah, Tom was a fantastic coach. We unfortunately lost Tom this year, but he was he was there. His first year was my first year. He came straight from Diamond High School to the Razorbacks, and that just shows where the programs come from. That would never happen now. I would never have made the team now. It's just things have changed, and thank goodness they have. But he was a good pitching coach, real hands-on, and he did a lot for me.
Scott Tabor with us, former Razorback here this morning, brought to you by Alumni Hall as we talk about Arkansas and South Carolina. Lefty versus righty tonight, same thing on Saturday. South Carolina has not named their starter for Sunday. They're pitching off. They're going with Roman Kimball tonight. They're righty, and they're going to go with Eli Jones tomorrow. You got Hagen Smith, Molina, and Brady Tigert for the Razorbacks. What do you make of the way South Carolina is handling their rotation?
I think you're going to see more and more of that as you go through conference. Look at our first half of conference. I mean, we're 12-3. That's a great first half. And this team is expected to do as well or better on the back half. But we're playing teams on the back half that statistically wise are better hitters, and we have some better pitchers. And so we're facing the tougher half. But you don't know that until you get to the first half. I mean, who's going to be good? You don't know until you play, until you get some stats under your belt. I think we'll see more of that because teams need to win 2 out of 3. And I think, Tommy, you and I kind of talked about my freshman year again, I'm so green, I had no idea. I remember once in a meeting before the pregame meeting before the series and goes, okay, all right, we're going to really try to win 2 out of 3 this weekend. And I'm sitting there going, third game. I hope we try. I wanted to raise my hand and say, which ones are we going to try to win? I'd like to try to win that Sunday, the second game of the doubleheader on Saturday, if you don't mind. That's the one I'd like to try to win. But it just always boggles my mind when you're going to try to win 2 out of 3. Heck, as a player, you try to win 3 out of 3. I mean, you go after it all the way through. I just see that happening, and I think Hagen, the only thing they're throwing off is the pitcher. They're not throwing off on the hitters. So our pitchers still have to face and line up, and they still have to pitch. Hagen can't go out there going, I'm not throwing against their best pitcher. He's not throwing against any pitcher. He's throwing against their hitters. So he needs to stay focused on that.
Yeah, that is something we know, but we don't think about. Any differences you've seen with Arkansas's righty and Brady Tigert the last couple of outings? He's got his ERA back down under 3 at 2.59. I know he's had control issues. Any technical differences you've seen?
we talked about it before. He's kind of tightened everything up. He doesn't fly open. He doesn't overstride. He doesn't try to throw a pitch that he doesn't have. I think they kind of reined his emotions back in. When you start to struggle a little bit, you have a tendency to try too hard. And I think they probably had to sit down and went through and watched some video and said, this is what you're doing. That happened one time to me in minor leagues, and I never even knew it. Why all of a sudden I was missing this and I was missing that. Showed me a little video, and it was a real simple fix. And so I think that's what's happened. The talent is there, and his mentality. He's got a bulldog mentality, and that keeps him in a lot of games. He knows he can make a pitch when he needs to make a pitch. Of course, you're always trying to make a pitch every pitch, but he can always come back to that, and I think it's showing up.
Yeah. Peyton Holtz moved into the lineup kind of on the regular. You got any thoughts about? I've always thought he's a ball player, and when people say, "Well, how good is Arkansas?" My answer would be, "They're so good, Peyton Holtz can't in the lineup." Which is a compliment to him. They've inserted him in the outfield. Just what differences have you seen with him in the lineup and adding his bat?
Well, at this point, you have to get away from who should be your right fielder, who should be your left fielder, who should be. Now it's come down to, you're only as good as your statistics say you are. Look at his numbers. And I think Kendall Diggs is going to be a key on this backside. If they're going to continue putting Kendall in, Kendall's got to hit, because we have some guys that can take his place and can play his spot. Not as well as he does, but at this point, you've got to have your best the best hitters in the lineup. Kendall, I think, has had some shoulder problems from what I heard. I don't know, but whatever he's got, I'd like to see him get that worked out, because he's one of the guys who are counting on for 15, 18 home runs, and he's got the power. He just doesn't have the right now the consistency, striking out more than what we thought he would, and so everything's on expectations and based on past performance. So he's got to pick it up, I think. We got some guys you can't keep out of the lineup. You look at Sousa. John Philip Sousa, wasn't he a composer? He's classical. Anytime you hear that, the guy's he's up there just swinging. He's just smooth, and I think he is an up-and-coming athlete that's going to be hard to keep out of the lineup, because he plays everywhere. He plays a great third base.
Yeah, I couldn't help but notice, Scott, when they ripped his shirt off after that game-winning hit, the resemblance between Nolan and Tommy. In terms of their physique, it was.
what?
It's hard to differentiate one from the other.
Somebody sent me a text on that said, "Tommy Kraft playing? Does he have those ability left?"
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well,
and,
you can pick any of us out.
That wouldn't have happened back when we were playing. You rip a jersey, you're pretty much off the team.
I was going to say that was the only jersey you had back then.
And they were 3 or 4 years old, so we were. I think they had a 5-year rotation where they had to go buy new ones. About every 5 years. Laugh at some of the
Norm
stuff
would have been hacked if something like that
would have
had
been
happened.
riding the pine. You would have been a really good raker after that.
That's funny.
Well, Scott, it's going to be fun starting tonight, 6 o'clock, Arkansas and South Carolina for a critical weekend series. We appreciate the look inside the lines and inside the dugout, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Great talking to you guys. Go Hogs.
All right, Scott Tabor with us here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. It's brought to you by Alumni Hall, your ultimate Razorback shopping experience. The best and largest selection of licensed apparel for the whole family. Nike, Champion, Columbia, Onward Reserve, Peter Millar. We like that Peter Millar stuff around here. Plus, they got the Yeti accessories and a lot more. Arkansas students, faculty, military all receive 10% off. Just bring your ID. Plus, you earn cash back with Hall Pass rewards. $10 off every $150, or $10 towards every 150 points that you earn. You'll find Alumni Hall next to Whole Foods in Fayetteville, or you can always shop online at alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall is where Razorback fans shop. Yeah, things are a little different. Back then, I could just imagine Norm blowing a gasket over someone tearing up a jersey, because the budget isn't quite what it was then today. That'd have been the story of that deal.
I can remember, and I hate to sound like an old man saying I can remember, but I can remember when we joined the league, LSU and Mississippi State were the only places that would let you keep the foul balls. I can tell you at Arkansas, when they played at George Cole Field, and this is the early days of the SEC, and it was always this way in the Southwest Conference. You had your walk-ons, your guys that weren't going to play but still were in uniform, I mean, they would chase those foul balls down Razorback Road. And, I mean, the message was don't come back without the baseball. I don't know if they fought any little kids over ballpark. If you took a foul ball back, they'd give you a Coke. I don't know if they did that or not. But I know the message was don't come back without that baseball. And I can remember what a really big deal I thought it was when we finally let fans keep baseballs. At Mississippi State, there'd be a foul ball into the stands, and the PA guy would come on. Foul balls, courtesy of, whatever business in town was sponsoring it. And, college baseball's come a long way, I'll tell you. It's come a long, long way. People have no idea.
What is the amazement with a foul ball at all levels? I mean, you guys lost me. Anyway,
Chuck lost you. Go ahead.
What is the fascination with foul balls in our society and sports? I mean,
it's just a momentum.
People at the SEC. Yeah, I mean, people will tackle each other over a foul ball. That's one fascination in sports I've never fully understood was the fascination of a foul ball. But I guess the most famous of all was the Bartman ball at Chicago. God, how long ago has that been? 12, 15 years ago now? But,
is that 09? Does that sound right?
It may be, but we certainly have a fascination. But I remember going to games at the when the baseball field at West Stark is now where the center of the campus is, where the bell tower and all that's next to the old field house. I'd go there as a kid to baseball games. My dad loved watching them, and if there was a foul ball, they, just like Chuck was describing, they'd send somebody out to get it. You weren't allowed to keep the foul balls. So I think we've probably all been there at some point. But Chuck, I was just saying before we lost your connection, the fascination with foul balls in our society is something I still don't fully get or understand, but it's at all levels. I mean, a foul ball, it's like you've hit gold into the stands.
It's the greatest thing in the world. I remember the first one I got at a minor league game in Memphis when I was like a kid at the old Tim McCarver Stadium. It's the only foul ball at a professional game I've ever got. And I remember it. I remember I went down. I remember the whole thing. I was probably about 8 years old. It's a big moment.
I was telling there while we were reestablishing it, you probably remember the old baseball field that was next to the field house at West Stark. It's now the center of the campus where they're and I remember going to games there as a kid. You had to, if there was a foul ball, they went and chased it down just like you were describing with Razorback baseball back in the day. All right, we got the Fence Man Friday picks on the way in just a few minutes. We'll get our selections for the weekend coming up and a big weekend of SEC baseball. First, let me give you a word about Gaston's White River Resort. Ty was talking earlier about spending time last weekend in Montana and how everybody wanted to know about the White River. Fishing's big in Montana. They love the trout fishing there just like we love it here. But the place that everyone really wants to go, the true mecca of trout fishing in North America, Canada, United States, anywhere you want to go, it's really the White River. We are great. It's just a great treasure, a great amenity, as we were talking earlier, in our state. Gaston's is the place that's got the premier resort, over 2 miles of White River frontage, and they've got over 80 cabins and lodges, plus a full roster of expert guides to make sure you have a fabulous fishing trip. Don't do it without one of their expert guides to really show you what it's all about. They take care of everything, so no reason to be worried or intimidated. 870-431-5202, Gaston's White River Resort. First-class time, every time.
Hey, everybody, this is Joe Tessitore from ABC and ESPN, and you are listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Roll into the season at WT Equipment. Get ready to roll with strong savings on hay tools, compact and mid-range tractors, and even our large commercial-grade hay equipment. Find out and save $5,000, $10,000, or more in cash back. Or get 0% financing for up to 48 months on hay tools, 60 months on mid-range tractors, and up to 72 months on compacts. Hurry, offer ends June 30th for commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required. WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Tommy Kraft here for the Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from the Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, the Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call the Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Razorback!
Diamond Center is proud to present our inaugural Whiskey and Watches event. Now is your chance to get your hands on that timeless timepiece you've been dreaming of. Between now and Thursday, April 25th, in our Fort Smith store, call or stop by to pre-order your watch. Then join us on Thursday, April 25th for a night of celebration featuring rare whiskeys, cigars, and luxury watches. This is your opportunity to add that watch that you've always had an eye on to your collection. For more information or to pre-order your watch today, give us a call. The Diamond Center, celebrating a legacy of love.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is the reigning champion of my own conference, Robert.
You do realize that's not a thing.
Well, I did receive a plaque commemorating that accomplishment.
Yeah, and I was elected the president of Mars. Anyway, Hog fans, it's that time again.
It's baseball season! And Hog fans, the Stadium Shop has everything you need for Razorback baseball.
From t-shirts, sweatshirts, man cave stuff, and even a Razorback original, the bases loaded beer hats.
Plus, ladies, as well as a restocked women's section. We have the bases loaded beer stein boppers.
Yeah, it's kind of like those old-time space alien antennas, you know?
Yeah, well, not really.
So when you're in Fayetteville, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road, next door to Baum Walker Stadium, or you can shop us on them WW Interweb Facegram. You get it, Matt.
Dad, do you mean the website?
Yeah.
Which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
As always,
Go Hogs!
Hi, this is Garen Armstrong with Shamrock Roofing and Construction. That small roofing company my father started 45 years ago has now become one of the largest roofing companies in America by following one rule, the golden rule. No one can install a better roof at a better price, a better warranty than Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Let our local family serve your family. Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Call today or visit us online at shamrockroofer.com.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come Get You Some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Looking for a change? For a limited time, we're offering up to a $15,000 hiring bonus and a $3,000 referral bonus for maintenance techs, including electricians and refrigeration techs. Ask a friend who works at Simmons for more information, and you can both win. Simmons offers vacation matching, a 401k plan, and premium health care for team members and their families through our care clinics at no additional cost. Learn more at workatsimmons.com or stop by the Fort Smith City Hiring Center at 4900 Rogers Avenue, Suite 103 in Fort Smith. Find out more about the $15,000 hiring bonus and start getting paid sooner with same-day hiring options. We look forward to seeing you.
The Cal era is here. Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to limbirdteam.com. Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to limbirdteam.com. Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit maverickmalemedical.com. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Few headlines today in your Hog Update brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Kenny Payne recently has been the head coach at Louisville, will join John Calipari's staff as the associate head coach. He spent 10 seasons with John Calipari at Kentucky, time in the NBA, and like we said, most recently, time on the Louisville bench as their head coach. He'll be Arkansas's associate head coach. Arkansas and South Carolina, we've been talking about them throughout the morning. 3 games tonight, beginning at 6 o'clock. Here are the games right here on ESPN Arkansas on most of these stations and on the Hit That Line Now app. From the football team, punter Max Fletcher has entered his name into the transfer portal. It's kind of caught some people off guard. 59 punts last year, averaged nearly 47 yards, was named second team All-SEC by league coaches. This was not something I think a lot of people saw coming, Chuck, was Max Fletcher entering the transfer portal.
I don't know all the details behind this. As I said earlier, my first thought when I heard it was, well, he got a better deal. I think one of the things that's hard for us to realize as fans is that these kids, when they have a great year, they're ready to test the free agent waters, just like professional athletes would and do if they're in a free agent year. And I'll cite you an example. I'll cite you a basketball example. The kid at Tennessee, the big kid, 0, Jonas Adu. He just entered the transfer portal. Now, why would he enter the transfer portal? He's going to be a senior at Tennessee. He developed this season. It blossomed into a great player. Why would he enter the transfer portal? Because he just had his best year. He knows everybody wants him, and his value just went through the roof. I'm not saying that applies in this instance, but I have thought about and wondered over the last 24 hours if NIL has a role in this. And NIL can play roles in different ways. You got to remember, you got to divvy up your money. You know, you got to divvy up your money. Arkansas's got a very good second punter. Devin Bale's very good. If you watched the spring game on 2 Saturdays ago, you know he's good. He transferred from Northern Colorado, and Fletcher was so good last year that Bale may have punted once or twice. I don't remember. But I know he didn't get enough work to, they were still able to redshirt him. He's got 2 years of eligibility left. He's good. They'll be fine at that position. Max Fletcher's really good. I did not see that coming, and I won't pretend that I did, and I don't understand. It's not that I don't understand. I don't know all the details on this, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but my suspicion would be that NIL at least has something to do with this.
I think you're probably on to something, but the timing, testing the waters after a great season you think would have come several months ago following the end of the regular season, not following spring practice. I guess
we don't know what the conversations. We don't know the conversations. I know there are players who will come in and they'll want more. They got this offer, and you weigh what you got and what you have to replace them with. And I'm not saying that applies in this instance, but I do know it does in some.
On our last note in the Hog Update, the Arkansas Gymnastics team finished 7th in the country. Their highest finish for the team since 2012, as the Gymbacks came in 6th that season. The Great 8 yesterday, and they were on national TV on ESPN2. Jordan Weber's team had a historic year, and her best year, Chuck, since she's been in Fayetteville, as they make the final group of 8 in gymnastics, which is equivalent to making it to Omaha, if you will, in baseball.
That's right. They call their 8 the Great 8, and at least I think they do. That's what they used to call it. Arkansas has been there before, but it's been a long time. And, when you make that, again, it's like, as you say, and that's a good analogy, going to Omaha in baseball. Great year. I mean, I won't try to fake my way through it and make it sound like I follow everything they do in gymnastics, but I appreciate someone that makes it to the top, and they're awfully close right now.
All right, that's your hog update, and it's brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Well, our buddy Sean from the Fence Man stopped in for some picks here on the Friday. Sean, how's your weekend starting out?
It's going to be a beautiful weekend. We're going to actually, most people take the weekends off, but not our staff, not my crew, not myself. We got some jobs to go set and finish up and get things done. We're just super blessed and got a lot of work ahead of us. And, we try to take some time off, and that's when it rains. But other than that, we get after it.
All right. And it looks like we're going to have a good weekend for doing some catch-up this weekend. All right, let's get into it. It's our Fence Man Friday picks.
Fenceman Friday Picks. Call the Fenceman for all kinds of fences, controlled access, and custom iron projects. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. We ain't afraid of no work.
Well, we mentioned a few times throughout the show how big a weekend it is for SEC baseball. And we'll start with one of the big series that was supposed to get underway last night, but that game was postponed due to weather. That's A&M at Bama, so we can actually pick the series winner in this one because they haven't played yet. Sean, I think I know how you're going because A&M's involved, but big series in the SEC West, Texas A&M at Bama. I assume you're taking the Aggies.
I am, especially what they did to Vanderbilt last week. So, holy cow, you bet.
Yeah. Chuck, they're number one in the polls this week. Are you on the Aggies or are you on the Crimson Tide?
Well, I'm going to go with the Aggies. Here's the thing. They're going to play a doubleheader today. They can't play on Sunday. They got to play a doubleheader today or a doubleheader tomorrow, and I'm sure they're going to try to play 2 nines today. It is hard to sweep a doubleheader. That series may come down to the rubber match, but I'll take the Aggies.
I'll take the Aggies as well. I think Bama's really good, and they played everybody tough. But I think in the end, playing 2 today, I'll take Texas A&M as well. So all 3 of us on A&M. Tennessee's at Kentucky. This may be the premier series in all of college baseball this weekend. Chuck, I'll start with you. No one saw Kentucky coming this year, at least at the top of the SEC. Tennessee needs to stay in the Eastern Division chase. Who do you like, Volunteers or the Wildcats?
You can't argue with anything Kentucky's done. All they do is keep winning. They've got Tennessee at home, so I'm going with Tennessee.
All right. Sean, who do you like this weekend?
I'm with Chuck on this one. I'm a Tennessee Vols fan, so I think the Vols are going to pull it off at home. It'll be a close one, but they'll get it done.
All right, give me Big Blue. I'll take Kentucky. I'm becoming a believer in what they're doing. All right, Arkansas and South Carolina. Arkansas is minus 190. I don't know if that's for the series or this game, but Razorbacks on the road. Chuck, you want to pick this one, or you need to lay off of this one?
I'm going to pick Arkansas.
I think we all are probably going to pick Arkansas. So let me give you this. We'll all 3 go with Arkansas. Hagen Smith over 5.5 hits and over 8.5 strikeouts. Going over or under?
I'll let you take that one, Sean.
I'm going to go over. He's going to go over. I think he's on fire, and he's going to get it done this weekend.
I'll go under on the hits and over on the strikeouts. All right, that's our Fence Man Friday picks. It's brought to you by the Fence Man. Sean, great time to give you a call and get anything involving a custom project done.
Yes. Please give us a call at the office, 782-3936. We got a lot of sales staff ready to come out, meet with you, walk your project, talk to you, go hand in hand. We not only just take the sales call, but when it also comes to installation, we call you the day or 2 ahead of time, let you know we're going to be out there. Our installers walk with you and talk with you about it. We try to take care of it.
The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Scott for Leaf Guard Gutters of Arkansas. Are you tired of dealing with clogged gutters, climbing ladders, and worrying about potential damage to your home? Well, listen up to me now. Leaf Guard of Arkansas's got you covered. Introducing Leaf Guard, the only true one-piece seamless covered gutter system on the market, guaranteed to never, ever clog. With Leaf Guard, you can kiss goodbye to all the hassle of climbing up and cleaning out all that muck and mud and shingle grit. No more hiring someone else to do it, or worse yet, risking serious damage and issues by doing nothing at all. Spring is finally here, which means it's time for Leaf Guard's famous Ugly Gutter event. Leaf Guard will swoop in, take down, and haul away all those unsightly unsightly gutters at absolutely no charge, and you'll receive an incredible 60% off installation on a whole house leaf guard gutter system. But wait, there's more. Ask about the 0% financing options and additional discounts for seniors and military personnel. Do not let ugly gutters ruin your home's curb appeal or cause costly damage. Call 501-664-5400 or visit leafguardandmore.com to schedule your free estimate today. Leaf Guard of Arkansas, protecting your home one seamless gutter at a time.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Ty, that's the million-dollar question.
This is the Morning Rush.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $425 off of your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drugstore in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSAuto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine, a much cooler day. A slight chance of seeing a shower or thunderstorm across the south. Highs today in the mid to upper 60s. We'll see a decent chance of some showers and storms tonight. Overnight low in the upper 40s. And then Saturday, we'll host a few showers, a few isolated thunderstorms. Highs near 60. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers.
KERX, Parents Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your morning.
ESPN 95.3.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy yesterday. You used that word project a minute ago, Tommy. Oh, he's just a 4-star? That's just kind of what it's like right now. I mean, oh, well, he's only a 4-star. We wouldn't be interested in him. Things sure do change.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studio. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Kristen Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bensenville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
All right, the Morning Rush. What does Phil call it? The golden hour. We're in the final hour of the week. We're in the Morning Rush version of the golden hour here on a Friday morning. Glad you're with us. I'll be honest. It's been an interesting day. Ty, as you hear, kind of creeping into the conversation. His voice is gone. He has been relegated to the corner. He is drinking honey and bourbon throughout the morning. So I'm not sure if he's drunk yet or not, but. I think he's just got an early tea time. But what'd you do, lay out in a seedy bar and suck in too much cigarette smoke last night? What's wrong with you, boy?
Well, when you go through 2 or 3 cartons of cigarettes and you start to get up in age and years like I have, it just doesn't, you don't bounce back like you used to.
Yeah.
It'll catch up with you, man.
I guess Father Time is
Trump's
catching up. I'm in Florida. My daughter is involved in the Open Championship, National Championship cheerleading competition, competitive cheer. And any parent out there that's done travel ball, travel volleyball, travel baseball, travel cheer knows exactly what I'm dealing with down here. It's quite a deal, guys. I got me and Laura and Dylan and Abigail's here. They competed last night. Now, I'm going to go on a must tangent here for a second. We had to compete last night. I say we. Her and her team competed last night at 8:42 Eastern Time. And then you had to wait around for what they call the reveal, where, this was the preliminaries, and then the top half of the field moves on to today's finals, all right? That came out at 10:40 last night. So at 10:40 last night, you're sitting around, you're watching, and you find out whether or not you survive or move on, or whether or not we can go hang out with Mickey and Minnie all day. And they moved on. They advanced. They were 6th out of 22 or whatever it was, so they made the finals. Now we got to turn around, and we've got to be back over there in like an hour. I'm going to have to leave the show early today. So, I mean, this is like an NCAA operation. We get the late game last night. We get the first one today. Is anyone else in the league having to do this? Is anyone in the Southeastern Conference having to do this? I don't understand it. I mean, now I know what Muss was going through last year, in these tournaments. He was complaining about the schedule. I get it now. We're on short rest. How do they expect us to win the national championship on short rest, Chuck?
How much is that trip running you? How much is it costing you? I mean, really, how much is it running you?
I thought we were friends.
I mean,
I thought we were friends.
This is the female equivalent of travel baseball for boys. You spending $10,000 this week?
Lord.
You spending $10,000 to hear all those kids scream. You're
Let me just say,
$10,000 to just hear a bunch of kids scream.
Listen, well, for your daughter, Chuck, you spend whatever amount of money possible.
That's exactly right.
Grand.
Let me just give you one
$10,000.
insight. The tickets
Yeah,
the
tell us about the
wristband.
ticket.
You're watching online. You can see
How much did it cost you to go watch
this
your daughter
wristband, this
perform?
purple wristband. This
That means you
wristband
could have
right
been into
here
all the,
was
all
a
the
value at it was a value at $79. $79 to get in.
You paid $79
Just
to
think
watch
of all
your
the
daughter
quality
cheer
family time.
last night. And not just you, all your family members. What did it cost you to get in? 400,
Each.
500 just to watch?
Well, 80 times 3. 80 times 3.
I hope whoever set those
200
prices,
nearly
Tommy,
$250.
I hope they get hit by a bus. Whoever set those prices for you.
Well, I won't go
Well,
that far. But
as I was drinking my $4.50 Dr. Pepper last night out of the vending machine, I had time to reflect on it. So
everything's cheap in Orlando.
But,
It's no big deal.
yeah, oh yeah, like Vegas, everything they almost give it away. They almost give it
I'm
away.
glad you're
So,
having fun. You look
but
like you're
the
having
smile
a great
on her
time.
face.
Yeah, it's worth 10 grand. Absolutely, it's worth 10 grand.
Just the smile on her face. Absolutely. All right, we'll get into some basketball news in just a moment. It's all brought to you by the Lindbergh Real Estate Group, serving all the Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. Go to LindberghTeam.com for all your real estate needs. And by Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com.
This hour of Chuck Barrett on the Morning Rush is presented by McLarty Daniel. McLarty Daniel has a vehicle to fit both your style and budget. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, you're never too far from a good deal. Visit McLartyDaniel.com to find your next ride.
I knew I was in over my head last year when we bought a $475 backpack. I knew that's when. I had bitten off more than I could chew in competitive cheer.
Who's more excited, the girls or the mothers? Who's more excited? Yeah.
There's no question, the mothers.
Really? Oh, okay.
Now, I'm gonna just be. Let's see, where's my wife? She's in the other room.
It is. Make sure you're in the room by yourself. Give us this.
It is a good place to people watch. We'll just say that. All right.
Just say it, cut it out. There's hot moms everywhere, Tommy. Stop walking around it. There's hot moms everywhere.
Well,
Orlando is hot mom
It's a
central.
paradise for a guy like Ty. It's a paradise for a guy like Ty.
Mill Central.
But I'm going to tell you, I didn't want to go here, but I will. It was a little uncomfortable, as I'm walking through and all these late 20s and early 30 something. I'm walking into my Arkansas Cheer Academy T-shirt, and guys, I just felt like a piece of meat. Well, I felt like a piece of meat. All of them looking at me with them eyes, and it felt like they were undressing me with their eyes. It was a little uncomfortable, to be honest with you. So
back before Bed Bath & Beyond went under, you'd go there on Saturday and you just see a store full of defeated men. And I see you in that Arkansas Cheerleader Academy T-shirt. I see a defeated man. I'm sorry. I just do. I see a defeated man.
Some battles aren't worth fighting, so you just move on.
No, I'm glad you're having fun, and congratulations. 6 out of 22 is pretty good.
Yeah, we'll hopefully
good, but it's good.
Hopefully bringing home the national championship later today. But hey, Kenny Payne, Chuck, he's going to be your lead assistant, your associate head coach. He's got a long tenure with John Calipari, and I think that's the reason a lot of people mentioned his name early on in this process of him possibly joining the Arkansas staff. It's now official. He's going to be the associate head coach. Spent 10 years with Cal at Kentucky. Got experience in the NBA. And, of course, we recently know Kenny Payne's name from coaching at his alma mater at Louisville. Arkansas played them a couple of times. He was there for 2 seasons beginning in 22. But this is the first big piece, and I think we're going to hear about others and some of the names that have been rumored all along to be with Cal on that staff as things are starting to publicly take shape.
Kenny Payne's a basketball lifer. If you're old enough to remember like I am, I remember when he played at Louisville. He played in the game where they beat us in the NCAA tournament in '89. He's a good player. He was obviously a very valued assistant by John Calipari. They had a lot of success when he was there. My understanding is that his expertise is in the area of working with big men. But this is a guy that has been an associate head coach and a head coach at the collegiate level. He's been an NBA assistant, played at all levels. He's a basketball guy. And he's part of Cal's inner circle. I mean, he's one of his trusted advisors. So I expected this, and thought it would happen.
Yeah. I would imagine his son, I don't know when these other announcements will come, but his son Brad, who has been on staff at Vanderbilt, is likely to join the staff. Chet Martin, I don't have my note in front of me, but a couple other names that are going to come with him from Kentucky. So I imagine the staff is pretty well set. Maybe contracts and some of the I-dotting and T-crossing still has to be done. But now it's about players. And we know about Big Z that came on the scene this week, and maybe this weekend we find out about a few more names, Chuck.
Well, we may, and there are already other names floating about, and those who follow recruiting, admittedly, more closely than I do, have begun connecting dots, and we see the players that have played for Coach Calipari before. We see the players who have committed to play for John Calipari. And I don't think his network changes. I don't think that, I think that Arkansas, as I've said before, I think they're in play for pretty much all these guys. So, buckle up. I mean, this is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. All right, the McLarty Daniel hotline is open now for your calls or text, 877-377-6963. Let's go to White County. Brent is in Searcy. And Brent, you're on the Morning Rush.
What's going on, Ty, Tommy, and Chuck?
Brett, my man.
Hey, Chuck, have you been paid for next week's appearances on your radio assignment for this radio station?
Have I been paid next week?
Have you been paid for next week?
No, they don't pay me in advance.
You and Ty might not get paid. With Tommy,
why is that?
To spend so many Franklin in Orlando. I mean, goodness gracious, Tommy. I mean, I feel
the things you do for your kids, man.
Dad of the year, right there. Dad of the year.
I know this
about that.
I know this for my niece. I paid for her. They had their senior banquet at Harding Academy. You can't dance or anything like that, so they don't call it a prom. I paid for her hair and makeup. Goodness gracious alive! I told my sister, I said, "You got to be kidding me! We could have gone to Sports Clips for a nice, good haircut." But I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this weekend coming up. Do we have any basketball visitors coming in this weekend? On official visits?
I don't know if they're visitors. I don't keep up with it quite like that. I know that they've had this overtime elite thing going on, and I saw a picture of Coach Calipari there. I don't know how much of the on-campus stuff goes on quite the way it did before. That's a long way of saying I don't know.
I got you. Now, tell me about what should we expect in this South Carolina baseball series, Chuck? All my friends in South Carolina are saying, "Oh, it's not going to be good for the Gamecocks." I know tonight we got Hagen Smith going, so I feel pretty darn good about it.
I think you've got to play the way you've been playing. I don't think what happened at Alabama last weekend was a disaster. I don't think they played bad. As Tabor said earlier, that kid Sunday just pitched the game of his life, and he happened to pitch it against us. He probably won't pitch that way again this year if I'm a betting man. But he did then, and that's why they won the series, and that's going to happen. I'm not worried about that. I was encouraged by the way they beat Texas Tech twice. I think it'll be 3 similar type ball games against South Carolina.
Yeah. It's why we're here. It's why we have jobs. It's for overreaction. But, Brent, I thought the overreaction to the series loss, Chuck, I thought there were some, and we got a few of these texts, and we all know that one guy in our text group that's just overreacting to a series loss and the way it went down. I mean, you look at game 2, and you had the pitcher throw away the ball to first and allowed the winning run to score. I mean, that was a narrowly fought series, but the idea that you're going to go and win 3 games every weekend, I mean, that's a little misguided, and I think it's just what we do as sports fans, but we got to get back to reality on, yeah, this is a great baseball team, but you're not going to win every game and every series.
Well, I think we do this, and everybody does. It happens, particularly in college. It doesn't really happen in Major League Baseball, but people apply football mentality. There's always a sense of urgency. There's a sense of immediacy when you play a football game or even a basketball game. You think about a good college baseball team. Between the regular season, the postseason, they're going to play somewhere between 65 and 70 games. You're going to have a handful of them where it doesn't go the way it normally does. You're going to have a handful of them, and we don't say this enough, where the other team's players who are on scholarship, getting NIL money, are a little bit better than yours that day. That's going to happen. They've played, what is it? I lose count. 37, 38 games. They've lost 5. This is this is a really, really good baseball team, but it doesn't mean you're going to win every series. Forget winning every game. Doesn't mean you're going to win every series. It's hard to do because, again, the other teams have good players too. It's not just us. And, you look at what South Carolina's doing this series. Pitching off is the term that's used. Maybe not throwing their best guy against Smith. That's what the 20th ranked team in the country does against the second ranked team in the country. When we were the team that was ranked 20th or 25th, that's what we did. When we played LSU or when we played South Carolina back in the day with Tanner, and they had the best pitcher in the league, which, the top team generally has, or Vanderbilt or some of those teams. Your goal is to win the series. You always think, well, we got to win tonight, worry about tomorrow. Well, sometimes that's true. But you manage a weekend. If you're a head coach, you manage the weekend to come home with 2 wins, period, end of story. And, you want to win every game, don't get me wrong. But when you formulate your plan for a 3-game series, the idea is we've got to win the series. So I suspect Arkansas will play 3 very close games this weekend, and I think they'd be very happy to come home with a couple of them.
Let's talk about Hagen Smith and put that in perspective, because I think sometimes we get carried away with the immediacy of how great he is and his greatness, and he's a great pitcher. So I'm not taking anything away from him, but greatest of all time. I've heard some say that. I mean, wasn't that many years ago, just a handful, that we had Kevin Kopps out there and said the same thing. You've got a historical perspective. We were talking about Matt Carnes earlier in the late 90s. We talked to Scott Tabor from the 70s. You got to watch Nick Schmidt in every one of his outings, more or less. When you think about, just in your time broadcasting the games, where does Hagen stack up? We know where he's at in the career strikeouts, and he's going to probably move into number 2 tonight, if not his next start. Put some historical perspective on what we're watching with Hagen Smith right now.
Well, he's right up there with any of them. Right up there with any of them. And, he's putting these numbers together. He's not been a starter. He didn't come in here as a freshman, and they put him in as a starter every game. Strikeouts have become more fashionable than they used to be. I'm kind of an old school baseball guy, admittedly. To me, an out's an out. I would personally rather see a great pitcher throw 8 innings with 4 strikeouts and 90 pitches or 100 pitches as opposed to a guy working 6 with 14 strikeouts and 90 pitches. But that's just me. I know that strikeouts are what attracts people. Anybody understands strikeouts. You don't have to know anything about baseball to understand strikeouts. And a lot of people lean on that when they talk about, baseball. But the thing about Smith is, and this is what he's done, it just as my observation, I'm clearly not as close to it as I once was. He knows how to use every pitch in his repertoire. Some guys have certain pitches at their disposal, but they don't really know how to use them. And Smith knows how to use everything in his arsenal. He knows how to tempt. He knows how to bait the hitter. When he needs to throw a fastball for a strike, he can, and I don't mean just a meatball. When he misses, he barely misses. When it's a breaking ball count, even when the hitter knows it, he can buckle their knees. He is very much a pitcher now, and that's not as common at the collegiate level as you think. There are not an abundance of polished pitchers at the college level, but Smith is one of them. There are others out there who, in terms of all the barometers that pro scouts live by, there may be some others that are better. I'm not seeing him as he's not going to be the number 1 pick in the draft, for example, although I think he's probably going to be top 10 by the time it's over, maybe better. But Smith knows how to use everything. And the strikeouts have come from that. So you got to give him credit for that. Hey, those of you who are thinking about a new automobile, and, I think about a new automobile a lot, McLarty Daniel. McLarty Daniel, they've been serving customers in Northwest Arkansas for a long time, back to the 80s. Russ Daniel's been doing this since the 80s. I think what they've come to understand over the years is it really is about the customer experience. There are a lot of people selling cars. I mean, there are. And there are a lot of people promising great deals, and many of them can deliver. But the personal touch, the common touch, the relationship, that's really what makes the difference at McLarty Daniel. You're going to feel it when you walk in. They're going to welcome you. They're going to offer you something to drink, just like they would if you were walking into their home. You are going to get a great deal. But, you're going to find out when it's over that things like Saturday service and complimentary rentals during that service and the way they make you feel about your customer experience, that's what sets them apart. They've got 6 locations. They're in Springdale and Bentonville. 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, and you can check out their selection at McLartyDaniel.com.
6 o'clock tonight, 2 o'clock tomorrow, 12:30 on Sunday are the first pitch times for the series this weekend. SEC Network Plus. You'll have those South Carolina homers on there doing the call. You'll have Phil Elson on the radio and the Hit That Line Now app on most of these stations. You can always pull the app up and enjoy that. So that is the schedule for this weekend. Again, 6 o'clock tonight, 2 o'clock tomorrow, 12:30 on Sunday. Weather appears to be pretty good from what I can see and shouldn't have any change in that schedule. Arkansas, Hagen Smith, as we've talked about. They'll go with the lefty Mason Molina on Saturday and Tigert on Sunday. That's been the steady rotation. No starter named Sunday yet for South Carolina. They're going to pitch their ace and Eli Jones on Saturday and go with Roman Kimball for tonight's start. So that's kind of the look at baseball. All right, we've still got your SEC update in about 20 minutes or so. More to get to, and we'll circle back to basketball because we want to stay on top of things with basketball and Coach Cal. There's been some additions to the staff with Kenny Payne formally announced, and we'll come back to that as well before we get out of here. Your calls and texts are always welcome. McLarty Daniel hotline open right now, 877-377-6963. As Chuck was just saying, 6 locations, Springdale and Bentonville. A good deal is never too far away. Find them online at McLartyDaniel.com.
Our era is here. Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where it's spring cleaning time. The lot is blooming with fresh road-ready certified inventory and weekly specials that could save you up to $4,000. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, trade today and save up to $4,000 during spring cleaning at Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Now is a great time to start your career at Simmons. For a limited time, we're offering up to a $15,000 hiring bonus for maintenance techs, including electricians and refrigeration techs. Simmons offers vacation matching, a 401k plan, and premium health care for team members and their families through our care clinics at no additional cost. Learn more at workatsimmons.com or stop by the Fort Smith Hiring Center at 4900 Rogers Avenue, Suite 103 in Fort Smith. Find out more about the $15,000 hiring bonus and start getting paid sooner with same-day hiring options. We look forward to seeing you.
Advanced Mechanical Performance, your premier UTV, off-road, truck, and Jeep repair facility. Whether it's a lift kit, an oil change, or a complete makeover of your machine, go see Cody and the gang at AMP and get it right the first time. These guys know what they're doing and are doing what they know. Advanced Mechanical Performance, 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Call them today at 434-4161.
Do you need gutters but think they're too expensive, or that you need to get the soffit or fascia ready? No worries. Call the Gutter Guy. He does it all. No need to call multiple companies to get the right gutters for your home. Call the Gutter Guy. Quality, low maintenance, leak-free gutters with a 5-year warranty. The Gutter Guy also does vinyl siding and windows. The Gutter Guy. Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen, or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South C Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy yesterday. You used that word project a minute ago, Tommy. He's just a 4-star? But,
Yeah,
that's just
exactly.
kind of what it's like right now. I mean, he's only a 4-star. We wouldn't be interested in him. Things sure do change.
It's amazing how our expectations have been slightly altered with Coach Calipari's arrival. Here's our 5-star car guy. Larry Rath is with us from Rath Auto Resources. I know this. It's not quite the end of the month, Larry, but I know you can see it from where you're at. It's the 19th day of April, and one of the last couple of weekends coming up. I know how your mind's working for the weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, Tommy. You're always reading my mind. But, yeah, absolutely. We're really excited about this weekend. In particular at the Mitsubishi store, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, right there at the corner of 71B and Don Tyson. It's so easy to get to. It's right in the middle of the Northwest Arkansas area there is so 15 minutes from everywhere. It's like a geographical oddity. And you can get in there, just take a look at these new Mitsubishis and the big inventory that we've got. We finally got some inventory, particularly of the Outlanders. That's been such a successful model. If you haven't seen the 24 Mitsubishi Outlander, look that vehicle up, including a PHEV option on that vehicle, and we've got them. We've got a big selection. We've also got the Mirage, the least expensive new car in America. We've got a good selection of Eclipse Cross. That's kind of a car that nobody knows about. That's just fantastic. A small, sporty SUV with lots of tech, lots of performance. Very fun car to own and drive. And, if you go in there and see David and his team today, they'll roll out the red carpet, find a car that's just right for you, and make sure it fits your price and payment budget. They've got some real good incentives to help them do that. A little bit extra for the trades right now, too. We need those trades, so a really good time. Check out the lineup of new Mitsubishis at Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Check out the used cars as well at both locations. We've got road-ready certified vehicles sitting here waiting on you, and a big selection of them. Used cars with warranty. Just a terrific way to take all the risk out. Find the one that you like. Let us worry about everything else. We'll get you driving better today. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Of course, the Meineke Car Care Centers at both locations. Or check us out online at rathauto.com.
All right, that's Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith, and in Springdale. Larry, enjoy the weekend, and we'll catch up next week. All right, that's Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith, and in Springdale. I think we lost him there.
He didn't ask us to come see it.
Yeah, folks, come by and see us. So I got to bug out after this segment. We're getting ready to go to the big national championship day at the Open Championship. I'm looking at my daughter; she's all ready to go. Yeah, you get right in front of the stage. Yeah, absolutely, you get right there in front.
Do you do the cheers with her? Do you
know
the cheers?
I don't know the motions.
Do you know the cheers?
I do not know the cheers.
Does your wife Laura
no.
know the cheers?
Laura definitely knows them, and she's definitely all in on that. And I stand there and video and yell. That's about what I do. So I've got the 2-minute and some odd second video from.
You're in charge of paying for it. That's what you're in charge of.
That's exactly. I'm in charge of that for sure.
Tom, somebody's got to pay for it. That's why Tommy's there.
Yeah, I was just thinking, not to go off in a whole different direction, but it's 19th day of April, and 29 years ago this morning, it's when the Oklahoma City bombing occurred, and
wow.
One of them days I'll never forget because I was on the air when it happened, and remember the news break. I was doing a country music radio show. I was morning drive on a station in Sallisaw, Oklahoma, when that news broke, and it was right there in the backyard. So 29 years ago today was Oklahoma City. So
it's been 20 years ago, I guess. No, it hasn't been 20. If it was 19 years ago that it happened. How long ago did you say? 29.
29. It's 1995.
All right. It was somewhere around about 10 years later. I was on a family trip. We were in Oklahoma City, and the plan was to go to that memorial early that morning. I did not want to go. I'm just going to be honest. I was tired. I didn't want to go, but I went, and it may have been the most moving 30, 45 minutes that I've, as moving as any I've had in my life. You could feel it. I mean, you walk around that memorial there. If you can't feel that, then you don't have feelings. It really was unlike anything I expected, and you can't help but feel what happened when you walk the grounds there. It is, they have put together a remarkable memorial, and I know it's been a long time, and many have been there, but if you haven't, and you're old enough to remember the incident, it is a very moving experience.
Yeah, and just one of them days. I mean, we've had other dark days in our time and in our nation's history, but that was one that was close to home that I'll forever remember. All right, looking back at baseball for this weekend, I know we're going to do the SEC update, but Chuck, I wrote down some numbers from the latest release of the NCAA RPI. Clemson's moved into the number 1 spot. A&M's number 2. Kentucky's number 3, and the Hogs are number 4. The SEC has 12 of their 14 schools inside the top 50. But one thing that stands out to me, by the way, Tennessee's at 7. Texas Tech was at 36, moved up to 32, and dropped 1 spot to 33 after losing 2 games to the Razorbacks. Georgia's at a surprising number 10. South Carolina, this weekend's opponents at 15. Vandy at 16. You notice I'm not getting to Florida? Florida's all the way down to 43. They're Arkansas's next home opponent. I don't know what's happened, but they've fallen on hard times, man.
Yeah, they started fast in the league, and they can't get out of their tailspin right now. Vandy beat them last night. They're still only 2 games back of Vanderbilt. Everybody's chasing Kentucky, and Tennessee's ahead of them too. SEC teams generally have high RPIs, and if Florida, starts winning some games, theirs will jump up because, it's the highest rated conference. Your teams are generally speaking among the best in the country, so you're going to have high RPIs in our league, and sometimes record doesn't have a lot to do with it.
All right, boys, y'all bring the ship home. I'm headed to the convention center and
take your wallet
next week. Yep. Oh, trust me, they won't let you in without it. I found that out. All right, the SEC update with Chuck. He'll land the ship next.
In Arkansas.
I'm going to be like Rudy leading them on the field. Tommy. Yeah, Tommy. that's right.
Hear Chuck in the booth. What is the crowd cheering?
Yeah, I can't.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the...
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the #1 source for all your sports betting this season and every season. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends all at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. The fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite leagues and events. Go to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure you use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. Bet online, where the game starts.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Abe from Woodland. Read about it.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch, big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the #1 source for all your sports betting this season and every season. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends all at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable.
Show with what amounted to about a 15-minute monologue. And, man, I could ramble and ramble and ramble. And then when I got tired, I could ramble some more. I got a 10-minute segment here, and I'm just terrified about how this is going to go. But I will tell you that the SEC Update's brought to you by Burt Pools and Spas. They've got their 46th anniversary going on right now. We'll tell you about that in just a minute. Razorbacks play at South Carolina this weekend. Night game tonight, day game tomorrow, day game Sunday. You know, Tommy was talking about the RPIs and all that stuff a minute ago as it pertains to Razorback baseball and, you know, how many teams the league may get in. And, I was looking at the standings going into the weekend. There are still going to be. I mean, I don't know if Florida and Missouri are going to make it out of the East, and I don't know if Ole Miss and Auburn are going to make it out of the West. But I think there's going to be 10 teams in here again. And what a lot of them are doing right now, look, Kentucky's in, Arkansas is in, A&M is in, Tennessee's in. They're 31-6. I mean, they're no pushover. I think LSU's going to get in regardless of what people think. But Vanderbilt's in. I think South Carolina's going to get in. I think Georgia's going to get in. On our side, Mississippi State and Alabama, it could kind of go either way for those teams. Alabama's 6-9 in the league, 24-13 overall. Now, if they're going to get into the inside, certainly beating Arkansas 2 of 3 helped. And now they've got A&M at home this weekend. They got rained out last night. They're going to play a doubleheader today. But, Alabama's got an opportunity to move into the NCAA tournament field, at least in a more secure manner. Mississippi State's 23-14. They're 7-8 in the league. They're kind of right there too. Some of these teams are, they're going to get home regionals in the early rounds. We're not the only ones, and it's not just going to be us and A&M. I don't think there may be some teams beyond A&M, Arkansas, Kentucky, and Tennessee that get regional. South Carolina is one of those teams. So that's why it's a big series for the Razorbacks tonight. We're getting to the point in the season now where in my mind, when I was, a part of this on a yearly basis, in my mind, the real season began when you got to the second half of conference play. And that's what we've gotten to now. It's the stretch run now. It's not that what's happened before is not important. It is. But what happens now is a whole lot more important. And I think Arkansas is equipped. They're not perfect, but they're as close as they've been in a long time. And I think they'll do well this weekend. Can Tennessee catch Kentucky on the other side? I don't know about that. A&M on our side, they're a game back of Arkansas in the standings. They're 11-4, but they've only lost conference games. I mean, they're 33-4. That's why they're ranked number 1 in the country. Arkansas closes there. That's where they close. And the Western Division may be decided right then. But I also suspect that by the time Arkansas and Texas A&M play one another, I think we'll have a pretty good idea that both of them are going to be national seeds. Hey, we were talking about the 46th anniversary of Burton Pools and Spas. You can get great deals on in-ground pools, savings up to $12,000. And they'll get started in May. I mean, right around the corner. You want your pool for the summer, they can do it. You can save up to $1,200 off Doughboy above-ground pools, $5,000 off Doughboy semi-in-ground pools. Hot tubs start at price of just $39.99. So celebrate with Burton Pools and Spas. Pocket huge savings in their Springdale and Fort Smith locations. At Burton, we do more than build pools. We build long-term relationships. Burton Pools and Spas. Can we talk about the ponies? We got Lang Whitman on with us?
Yes.
I think Lang's going to join us. It's race day at Oaklawn Park. Lang, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, Chuck. You're holding the fort down here at the end of the show by yourself, so I'm glad to join you right now.
Well, I'm glad to be here with you. It's brought to you by Brothers Roofing and Restoration. Lang, what's the story today? I mean, we're getting into the Kentucky Derby season. I know it's still hot and heavy at Oaklawn. What's on tap today?
Yeah, well, there's 9 race days left. That's all. Over at Oaklawn, there's 10 races today. There's 12 races on Saturday where the gates open at 10:30 of 12:10 first post. Then we got 9 more races Sunday, and then it's down to 2 weeks.
When I look at your picks, and I appreciate you sending them to me, it's obvious you do a lot of research. I mean, you're not just pulling numbers out of the air. Those of us who, play the ponies occasionally, we know just enough to be wrong. Guys like you, though,
I'm that way too sometimes.
Well, tell me what you do. I know you research trainers. I know you research jockeys. You look at workouts. You look at recent history. How do you come up with your formula?
Well, what I do is I have some software that I've used for approximately the last 15 years. It gets updated every year. I download whatever track that I want to work on that evening into the software, and I go horse by horse, race by race, highlighting which past performance that I want to use as a typical race for that horse at that distance, at that track, if I can, for the day. And then when I get to the end of the race, I hit compute, and it spits me out a bunch of numbers. And there's 3 categories where I have found that are the most efficient in trying to pick the winners. I rank my top 3 horses in all 3 categories, and then see amongst those ones that are highlighted, I make my picks from those numbers there. I look back go back through the race then, once it identifies as, say, the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 6 are probably the top 4. I go back and look at those 4 horses then and try to figure out which one I like best out of that group, or which one is, not as much, but it still should be in the top 4. It's maybe my 4th choice. And you do that for every race, and then you go back through, you try to pick out which one is you think you're my most likely winner, which one is my best bet for the day, and as we're going to talk about here in a minute, which is my best long shot for the day.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. What's the long shot pick today?
Yeah, long shot pick of the day. We're going to hit it right off the bat. Race number 1, a $30,000 claiming race for fillies and mares. I like number 3, Lux Me, 8-1 on the morning line for trainer Scott Becker. jockey Francisco Arrieta rides. And what might be a key factor here in this race, off what I'm fixing to say, is the trainer is half owner of this horse. And here's a horse in Luxme that has 3 career starts. She won her debut in November of 22 at Churchill Downs. She came back at Oaklawn in January of 23 and won her second race, and then she disappeared. Obviously, there was some physical problems there with the horse. They brought the horse finally back to the track on March 15th this year at Oaklawn. She usually runs on the lead. She was running on the lead that day as well for about half the race. Faltered down the stretch. Obviously, got tired from running her first race.
I think
in
we lost
14
Lane.
months.
Well, he did say the number 3. You got that Oaklawn Anywhere app. Number 3 is what he was saying in the first race. And Oaklawn's such a great experience. But when you go, I mean, it'd be nice to win a little money. Lang's always good at that. I hope we can get him back here in just a second. While we wait, if you've had hail damage to your roof, Brothers Roofing and Restoration is a properly licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Now, Brother Alexander, he's got over 27 years of experience as an insurance adjuster. He's got a lot of experience in roofing as well. And Brothers Roofing crews have over 19 years of experience. Brother provides free estimates with the most competitive pricing in the area while using the industry's best materials. In Garland County and surrounding areas, call Jonathan at 50.
I think Chuck time back there. We'll go back to Lane Whitman. I'm going to try and do this half on it. Lane, you were finishing a thought there. Go and finish your thought as we try and get Chuck back on with us.
Yeah, I don't know when it cut out, but I'm going with Luxme, number 3 in the first race as my long shot. Coming back off an injury back in March, she ran up on the lead for a half, finished up 11 lengths behind. She ran 6th, obviously got tired in her first race for 14 months. But the trainer, who's also part owner, does not drop the horse in class today. I'm kind of reading into this that maybe the trainer just thinks that she just needed the race. I'm going to give her a chance to bounce back here. If she runs back to her first 2 races of her career in late 22 and early 23, that form can win this race at juicy odds of the morning line at 8-1. So I'm going to Luxme, horse number 3 and race number 1 as my long shot of the day for the Railbird 333.
And I think we got Chuck back now. Chuck, you there? Come on.
Apologize for that, Lang. We screwed it up, but thanks for being here. Good luck this weekend, man. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
All right, Lang Whitman, Oaklawn, number 3 in the first. Brought to you by Brothers Roofing and Restoration. Licensed, insured. They are the local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Brother Alexander has over 27 years of experience as an insurance adjuster and in roofing. The Brothers Roofing crews have over 19 years of experience as well. Brother provides free estimates, most competitive pricing in the area. If you're in Garland County, call Jonathan at 501-249-5076 to arrange an inspection. And if you've had hail damage, I know some in central Arkansas have, that's the place where you need to call. All right, we're done. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Baseball tonight. We'll be watching the basketball front as well. Ty will be well by Monday. Tommy will be back if he's not completely broke. And we'll reconvene then. Until Monday, thanks for listening. Have a great weekend, everybody.